Did you growl, John?
Yeah.
Okay.
He did it quick.
It's not the start we were looking for, Momo. We'll get to UCLA. We'll get to the Raiders. Yeah. Everybody wants to talk about the Lakers, and everybody wants to blame Russell Westbrook. And it appears to me. So I'll give you a page on my life. Jorge, you're going to have to play this because I can't find it. I wanted to let you in on like my life because, as you know, if you listen to the show, I am like the last person on Russell Westbrook Island.
Yes, you are.
I think that for whatever reason, he has become the poster boy for this 0-3 start, when in my opinion, this 0-3 start is more than anything else about incredibly poor shot selection by the Lakers, who continue to shoot threes even though they can't make them. But this will make you laugh. My friend Ami Horowitz, he's a TV reporter in New York, is a huge Laker fan. He grew up out here. Loves the Lakers. Like, follows them from New York, blah, blah, blah. So he leaves me this long voicemail, and here is the last 10 seconds of the voicemail.
John, killing me, man. Killing me. Get off of Westbrook Island. Swim away. See you, man.
Swim away. See you, man. Everybody seems to think that if we do something with Russ, move him, trade him, that everything will fall into place. I don't think that.
No, it won't fall into place.
I think that the defense is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis and LeBron have been great. If Russ doesn't play the last 5 minutes, do we win that game? Probably. So maybe we need to tweak his minutes and pay attention to where Darvin plays him and where he doesn't play him. I mean, if you want to assign some blame to that, that's fine. But boy, Momo, you talk about a red herring. If you think Russell Westbrook is the reason this team is 0-3, I can't believe anybody who's watched all 3 games, like you and I have, can come to that conclusion. But if you listen to Travis and Sliwa, particularly to Trav, it's all Russ. It's his fault. And you can do that. You can scapegoat somebody. But, man, 5 of 33 from 3 when they were hitting all of their 2-point shots. When they shot 45% from the field. Take rid of those 28 misses from 3, and that number goes way up. What do you think?
Look, when I was watching last night, I guess it was during the day, actually, I just kept thinking, Anthony Davis is playing his butt off right now on both ends of the court. He had the putback dunk. He had the 6 blocks. Why aren't they playing through him? Give the man the ball.
You're Michael Thompson.
That's
Michael's point every game. And Michael says if he was down at the bench, he would walk up to AD. He would say, get your butt in the post and stay there. And then he'd look at all the other 4 guys and go, every time on offense, he gets the ball in the post. And if they collapse on him and it's not there, then attack. Whip the ball around and attack.
He can be the guy. When he's healthy and when he's there. Now, I will say this about Westbrook, all right? Sometimes, even when it's not all your fault, it still gets to be your fault. Like, there's just a sort of... You're right, he is the scapegoat.
It's the old Herm Edwards line. Herm Edwards, who worked at ESPN with us for years, who most recently flamed out at ASU, said his dad told him a long time ago, and I always use this, I tell my son this all the time, it's not your fault, but it's your problem.
That's a good line.
Okay?
I like that.
It's not necessarily from what you're doing, but this problem is at your doorstep. And to Russ, what I would say, as the lone member of Russell Westbrook Island, I would say, look, man, for whatever reason, you're a lightning rod right now. And you've got to, you've just got to pay closer attention to your shot selection. Everything else you're doing is working. You're playing defense.
He's actually playing pretty good defense.
You're pushing the ball.
Yep.
You're not turning it over, which was a problem last year.
Yep.
But those 2 shots at the end, in this particular case, might have meant the game for us. Stop shooting threes.
Yeah.
All right? I know you feel you're a Hall of Famer who needs the threes to open up the rest of your game. We don't need you to shoot threes. It's not part of our business plan.
So I think
if he continues to do it, particularly those 2 shots at the end, that to me is defiance. That's him telling Darvin, I know better than you. And he doesn't.
Here's what I think is going to happen.
Darvin is desperate to win. Trust me, it's his first head coaching job.
Yeah.
It's the Lakers. He said it yesterday at the presser you were at.
Yep.
Darvin knows where he's coaching.
Yeah, he says, I know where I am.
He knows where the spotlight is.
And by the way, he had other jobs that he passed on. Okay?
Right.
He interviewed for the Charlotte job.
LeBron and AD.
He wanted this gig. He wants the pressure, the bright lights. This is where you prove it. And here's what I think he's trying to balance. Showing Russ the trust and the respect to say, I'm going to keep going back to you, man. I want you to succeed. Now, if Russ makes one of those shots.
Can I jump in right there, though?
Uh-huh.
Trust goes both ways.
That's right.
Okay? If you're going to trust me in this scenario, you're Darvin Ham,
Yep.
and you're going to trust me to do the right thing.
Yep.
Russ is smart.
Oh, yeah.
Russ knows that those were bad shots. You got to Darvin has your back. You got to get his.
Yep.
You've got to say, you know what, coach? I'm not our best chance to tie this game or go ahead.
Yep.
I'm going to make sure LeBron and AD touch the ball down the stretch.
Right.
And then cut to the basket, run some ball screens, attack, 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 attack. If I see one more guy standing at the three-point line by himself with that look on his face, well, give it to me. Give it to you. They're begging you to take it.
Yeah.
Stop. There is no rule that says you're required to take 33s in a game. No matter what Trudell says, no matter what Bergman says, no matter what anybody says, they do not have to shoot that shot.
Well,
there is no rule that says if you're wide open at the three-point line, you have to take it. Greg, I can't believe you married yourself to that position.
It's not even married to it. That's Darvin Ham's system is a 4-out, 1-in. It's built around shooting those threes, getting those wide open three-point shots. That's what the offense is. Whether we have the shooters or not, that's what the offense is. And this is not all Westbrook's fault, and it's not all anybody else's fault. But Westbrook is the one that's right there. Now, just real fast with Anthony Davis, you guys are talking about how great Anthony Davis was, and he was fantastic. You know how many points he had in the fourth quarter? 2 on one shot.
Well, he didn't play
one shot.
Right, he didn't play the first 6 minutes.
Well, that's fine
because he played the whole third.
He played 7.5 minutes in that quarter. He had one basket on one shot, one rebound.
Not enough. You've got to run the ball through him, and if he doesn't shoot it, then you yell at him. But we'll take some phone calls on this because I think Westbrook is being scapegoated to the 10th degree here. I know he's not good. I know a lot of you guys want him out of here. But are you telling me that after you go 10 of 40 and lose, then you go 9 of 45 and lose, and then you start 1 of 16 and you finish 5 of 33. Greg, it would be the equivalent of you and I golfing, and you play the first hole and you hit it out of bounds. And I say, what club did you hit? And you say 3-iron. Okay. And I said, okay, what do you want on the second hole? 3-iron. You hit it out of bounds again. Third hole, what do you want? 3-iron. What? Greg, try something else.
I get it, but the whole point of the offense, and all this drive and kick that you're talking about is very much to get into the middle of the paint, to drive to the basket, is to get guys open on the 3-point line.
Right, but
that's
we don't
what it is.
Right, but we don't have those guys on our roster, and we have to face that fact. Either until Rob has a chance to tweak the roster and get some guys who can make threes. Let me ask both of you guys.
The NBA has turned into...
I'll do this when we come back, and we'll take some of your phone calls. 877-710-ESPN. 877-710-3776. Am I watching the same games as you guys? Is three-point shooting not the biggest glaring problem of this 0-3 start, or am I just imagining it? Momo Information, I'm John Ireland, ESPNLA.
Is your vehicle due for a service? Head into your neighborhood Valvoline Instant Oil Change, home of the...
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
10 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
$1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays. Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
Momo sitting in for Mace. You can stream the show live on video. Just go to YouTube, search ESPNLA, and be sure to hit the subscribe button, and bam! You get to watch Momo and John Ireland make audio magic on video. YouTube, search ESPNLA right now. Ireland and Momo continue for your Monday.
It is a Monday after the Lakers lose at Crypto.com Arena to Portland. Momo and I were both there. We were talking about Darvin Ham and if he was okay with Russ taking that shot at the end of the game. Here's what he said.
They were both open shots, but is that score in time? Are you okay with that, with those decisions?
Yeah, the second one, I just wish he'd attacked the rim. Pat tried to set a little screen. Nurkic was in front of him, kind of back. In those moments, if you're going to go 2 for 1, I think it has to be either you going downhill to attack the rim or you going downhill for a draw and kick. I felt like we settled on that. And, you can make the debate to call the time out there or not. I'd rather not. And because, again, the 2 for 1 was at our advantage. But, just the shot selection is something we have to work on, something that we have to get better at as we move forward, and understanding time and score and where you want to attack in those type of situations.
Now, I was very encouraged by that he is now coming around to my theory that shot selection is the biggest problem the Lakers have right now. I know, guys, you're going to think I'm crazy. Defensively, they're really good.
Okay, I have a stat that's going to blow your mind. You ready?
Yeah.
Among the teams that have played 3 games, okay, so not everybody's played 3. Clippers just played 2 games, right? Among the teams that have played 3 games, guess who the best defense in the league is?
Well, I don't think the Lakers are number 1, but they got to be
the
close.
Lakers.
Is it? They're number 1?
The best defense among the teams that played 3 games. Small sample size, yes. But considering who they played, considering that they played Golden State, the Clippers, and the Blazers, who can score with anybody. I don't know if the Blazers can defend, but they can score. That they have the best defense. Like the Lakers could have very easily be 2-1 right now. They had the Clippers, could have won that game. They had the Blazers, could have won that game. I don't think they're beating Golden State.
Right, but here, Greg, going back to let you know that I'm not in complete disagreement with you. This is where I think your theory and my theory can meet in the middle.
Okay, let's do it.
The New Orleans Pelicans, have you seen them play?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. They rank 30th, dead last in three-point attempts, and they're great. They're 2-1. They should be 3-0, but they shoot 25 threes a game. They're ranked 30th. You know who's 29th?
Who?
The Clippers, and they're great. You know who's 27th? Portland, and they're 3-0, and they have Dame. All three of those teams, Greg, average between 25 and 28 threes a game. That's where I want the Lakers. I want them in the bottom 5 in attempts for threes. If you take them they made 5 of 33 yesterday. You take them from 33 to 25. You give me those 8 possessions, they're shooting 50% from 2. So that's 8 more points. We win the game.
Sure, and I don't necessarily disagree with that. I'm happy to meet in the middle there. With New Orleans, it's a different type of offense where Brandon Ingram is a great mid-range shooter. Zion Williamson only is underneath the basket. That's all he does.
You know what Ingram and Zion both do better than almost anybody? Attack the rim, yeah. And LeBron and AD are really good, Momo, at attacking the rim. I'm telling you. Greg, will you allow me to bet $10,000 because I lost on stupid UCLA? We'll get to them in a minute.
No, don't do that.
But can I bet, this is a weird bet, but if you guys will allow me to do it, I'll take it. I bet the first time the Lakers shoot 30 or less threes, they win.
Okay.
Can I put 10 grand on that?
Sure, let's put it on there. It's going to be 1-1.
Or less threes. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. The only thing is, just tell me this, and Momo, you can answer this too. If Darvin Ham, you think Darvin Ham in practice is saying all those wide open threes, don't take them?
No.
Those are good open shots.
No, but
he's saying don't take them, step in, go drive to the basket.
But here's what I would say to Russell Westbrook.
Well, Westbrook is a whole different story.
Your 3-point shooting days are over.
He's shooting 8%.
We love you, okay? We think that you, if you play the way we need you to, could be a huge asset for us.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't take threes anymore. I don't care if you're wide open. Wasn't he, by the way, Ramona, supposed to set up? I got an email about this from Hooper's X. Thank you, Hooper's X. Wasn't Russ supposed to set up in the corner for threes? I've watched all 3 games. I've seen him there twice. That's fine. Russ, you shot 45% from corner. If they leave you wide open for a corner 3, go ahead and take it. But that's it. That's the one compromise I'll make with you. Other than that, you attack and dish. That's it. And Momo, I think if Russ doesn't listen to Darvin now, that Darvin can't afford to go 1-10, all right? He's going to have to do something.
Yeah.
And he's been really good to us.
Yes.
He's started him when he didn't really want to. He put him back in the game yesterday when most Laker fans and a lot of the media didn't want him to. Darvin has made every indication that he's trying to give Russ a chance to make it work.
Yep.
You can't stick it in his face by jacking up threes when you can't make them and taking bad shots at the end of the game. It's not fair.
Yeah, and that's where I think if I'm not going to bet mythical money on anything like this. Yeah. Okay, this is too serious of a topic. But I think that's where this lands. I think everybody, a lot of, nowadays in social media, we go from this is not working to send him home right away.
Right.
Let me tell you that there's 2 really big reasons why you shouldn't send Russell Westbrook home this early, okay? Dennis Schroeder's out for a while.
Sure.
Okay, that's your point guard. That's your fallback plan there. And number 2, LeBron and AD still get hurt a lot. And part of the reason why they wanted Westbrook in the first place is that he seems to always play. And there are going to be games where they need him. And when Braun or AD can't play. Anthony Davis looks great right now, but he's nursing a sore back. When is that going to be an issue? This issue will come up again, and they don't have a great solve for it. And probably the larger issue, which is Russell Westbrook can still do some things in this league that can make him a valuable player. I think you're right. Darvin has given him every opportunity to do the right things and to show that he can do it. Now, he's kind of been the good cop.
Right.
at some point, you change tactics.
You can't afford to pile up these losses.
You can't afford to pile up. So I think where this ends up landing is a couple more games. If this doesn't turn around, he's either not starting or not closing or both.
All right, here's Sean in Mission Viejo. Hey, Sean, you're on ESPNLA. Hi.
Hey, how's it going, Ireland?
Good. What do you think,
Ramona?
Sean?
I was at the game yesterday. I agree with you, Ireland. I've been telling people this for the last week now. We can't be pointing the finger at Russ on this. I don't think it is. It's purely shooting. If you looked at the first game, we made 6 less threes than the Warriors. The Clippers, if we even just had maybe 2 more threes that were made, we probably would have won that game. And yesterday came down to just like a possession or two. I'm also sitting here scratching my head, like you, Ireland, wondering why we're even attempting maybe more than 20 threes a game. Why aren't we going?
I don't get it, Sean. I don't get it.
What are we doing?
I know. Thank you for the phone call. I don't know why the Lakers feel that just because the other team gives you a wide open three, that you have to take it. I don't get it. Here's Eric in Santa Monica. He was at the game. Hi, Eric.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I was at the game yesterday, and from the very first quarter, I kept screaming, no, every time they're taking a three, and they just kept hoisting them up and kept bricking them. And, Russell Westbrook, when he came in at the end of the game, I was like, what are they doing putting Russell Westbrook in? And then he comes down, he takes the crazy shot. But what I haven't heard anybody talk about, and I'm curious about because you saw the game, you saw the replays and everything.
Yeah.
At the end of the game, Damian Lillard slipped, and they called a foul on, I believe it was Pat Beverly, and then they reviewed it. And instead of overturning the call, or instead of upholding the call, they called the foul on LeBron instead. And then when Patrick Beverly came down and he was pushed by Nurkic, they reversed that call and gave the ball back to Portland when it was obvious that he did push Beverly down. So
yeah, all right. So this, I can give you a little background, Eric. Okay, on the first one, when the Lakers opened it up to use their challenge, which is what happened when Damian Lillard slipped.
Yeah.
They once you open it up for a challenge, they're able to look at it, and if they got the person wrong, if a foul occurred but they assigned it to the wrong person, they're allowed to assign it to the right person. So that challenge was they noticed it wasn't Beverly, it was LeBron that made contact with Lillard, and they reversed it. On the second one, Eric, I actually thought Nurkic made a forward move towards Beverly, which you can't do. If you're setting a screen, you can stand there, but you have to stay still. You can't be moving.
And he pushed him with his arm.
I agree with you.
Him with his arm.
I was very surprised.
And he reversed it.
They said Beverly
and they're showing the replay on the monitor, and I'm like, well, he clearly pushed him. There's no way that the call on the court was that it was a foul without evidence showing it's not. There's no way they can reverse that call, and they did, and they gave it back to Portland. And if I remember, Lillard hit a three, and all of a sudden now it's like a 1-point game.
Yeah, nothing went
I
right.
thought he
Thank
flopped.
you. Thank
I'll
you.
be honest.
Eric.
When I saw it live,
Michael did too.
I thought he flopped. I thought it was a savvy vet play. If you watch the replay, Pat kind of sees him out of the corner of his eye, like, oh, here's a big fella. And it was right after Westbrook had jacked up a three and clanked it off the rim. It was like they needed a play. The NBA just released the last 2-minute report.
Yeah.
There were 2 fouls that should have been called on Pat at the end, too. That's
right.
what they, according to the last 2 minutes. Patrick Beverly, this is what you said about him from the jump. You want him on your team. He makes plays like this all the time. If he does that,
he's an irritant, but he's your irritant.
And that play, that could have changed. That game was getting away from them right then. And if they don't, I'm actually with the caller on this. I was surprised they reversed it because I thought it was a flop, but it was hard to reverse. He really sold that well. I mean, he really sold it well. But they reversed it and it changed the. Now I talked to Pat after the game, John, and I said, how you guys doing? Like how? And he goes, I'm not worried at all. We were 0-6 in Minnesota. We started the game last year, lost 6 in a row.
Yeah.
Like, he's in that locker room to make plays like that, to be that kind of voice, to bring people out. If you listen to his podcast, he's on Russell Westbrook Island with you, by the way.
Good.
Because
the Kamenetskis just sent out a picture of me writing on a volleyball saying Ireland and all his friends on Westbrook Island. So now
you and Pat Beverly.
It's me and Pat Bev. Okay, good. All right, coming up next, we'll spin the wheel of questions and take more of your phone calls and let you react to what you saw over the weekend. 877-710-ESPN. Momo in for Mason in Ireland, ESPNLA. Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
$710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
$1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
You know what it's time for?
What is this?
It's time for Wheel of Questions. Wheel of Questions is presented by our friends at Puente Hills Toyota. Got a car that's just sitting around not being used? Bring it to Puente Hills Toyota today for an instant cash offer. Puente Hills Toyota, the house of yes. Producer Jorge, are you ready with that wheel? Hit it.
Okay, this is a little bit of a weird one.
I like weird.
Pretend all robots are at war with humanity. You are suspected of being a robot. If you had to prove that you're human, what would you say?
Ooh.
So, Greg, you know what I would say?
What would you say, guys? This is a tough question.
Yeah.
There's not a really good answer here.
That's such a bad robot that they would go, no, that dude's not a robot. There's no way that guy's a robot. That sounds like completely made up. Jorge, what would you say to prove you're not a robot?
I would do like Dory and speak whale.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
I don't know.
like
I've never had sex with a bot. Yeah, I could use that.
Exactly.
Greg, what are you saying to keep yourself from being killed, to prove that you're human?
I mean, I just played it.
I don't know. I've never had sex with a bot.
I think that's my answer. I think that is the correct
You would
answer.
try and have sex with a robot?
No, I would say I've never had sex with a robot, so I'm obviously not a robot.
That doesn't prove that
It
at
doesn't
all.
prove anything. Yeah. I don't know. I don't got a good answer. This is a very hard question.
Hard question.
All right, Momo, what would you say?
I think it has to do. What is the thing that humans can do that robots cannot?
Opposable thumbs.
No.
What the heck was that?
I think humans can feel guilt.
Yeah.
I think we can feel really high-level complex
Can
emotions.
any of you, Mason,
love, guilt.
Yeah. Mason would claim
nostalgia.
he could do it. I
What?
cannot do it.
What?
I don't think Mason can do it either. I think he's full of crap. But could you make yourself cry on command?
Yeah, I could.
No way.
I could probably do it.
All right, you got 11 minutes.
11 minutes. I
Okay.
have to get there.
Yeah. You can in the next 11 minutes.
Do you want me to do this live on air? Make myself cry on command?
Yes, of course.
I have to really get there though.
Yeah, I know.
All right,
It's
okay, I'll
hard.
do it. I'll do it.
Okay, so we'll see if
But
you
I'm not
pull
going to do
off.
it during this segment. I'll do it I'll start during the break.
Well, I'll give you a break.
And we'll come back.
Before the end of the show, I'll give you this. Okay, it's 1:50.
You want me to get upset?
No. I don't care how you do it.
I have to get I have to be method.
It's 1:50.
All right.
I'll give you
I'm
till,
pretty method.
I'll give you till Game of Games. Okay? till 3:45.
No, I can do it. I just have to get myself talking about something that'll make me cry.
To produce actual tears. Yeah, and you can talk. You can bring them anything you want during the break, whatever you can.
Well, look,
actual tears get you Oh, by the way, Brian,
what am I going to get for this?
Brian Ojeda, I'll give you $1,000 in mythical money. Brian Ojeda wrote in, made a good point, Greg,
Easy.
that neither you or I caught.
Okay.
I can't bet mythical money on the Lakers.
Oh, you're not allowed.
Yeah.
I'll get rid of that bet.
Yeah, so that bet's canceled. Even though this was a positive thing, I don't.
I think you have to show real, like your question to answer I think you have to show actual guilt. I don't think a robot could fake guilt.
All right,
dropped a deuce.
Yeah, yeah, you could do that. That would prove you're not a robot.
That's an easy way to do it. Just drop your pants.
Well, although my puppy does it every 15 minutes, so we can bring him in here and that'd be over. All right, let's get a few more of these calls in here. Freddie is in Inglewood. Hey, Freddie, you're on ESPNLA.
Hey, how you doing, John?
Good, Freddie. What do you think?
Okay, I was talking to Birdman earlier, and we were talking about the 4-out offense. Okay,
right.
I could see where that offense is built for shooters. Okay, now, but he says it's built for shooters and cutters, and you drive and kick. But what good is it going to do to drive and kick if the defense?
Ding, 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 ding. Greg, they won. The Lakers' 4-1 offense that you've described is accurate. It's working. They're getting wide open looks.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, no one can make them.
Right. But
how many games? How many games? To Freddie's point, Greg, as somebody wants him to keep shooting these open threes. How many games?
It's not that I want.
Okay, but you say your exact words were you have to take them.
Right. Darvin Ham is not going to, in practice, be like, "Hey, don't take that shot with five feet of nothing around you."
How many games do you have to see where they shoot 21%? Before you'll admit I'm right.
Exactly.
At some point, it will regress to the mean. They're not going to shoot 21% for the entire season.
But what point is that for you? 5 games, 10 games?
Look, I don't want to see bad shots.
20 games of them doing this? You okay with that?
No, I'm not okay with any of it.
Yeah.
I want them to win games. I would rather them
Freddie, you're 100% right. That's all I can tell you, man. You and I are watching the same games. Thank you for calling. You don't have to shoot threes. It's not a league requirement. There is no league minimum for 3-point shooting. If that game was in the bag, Momo, you were there.
I know, I was there.
They were up 7 with 2 minutes to go. There is no rule that says in the final 2 minutes you must attempt at least 1 3. Russ took it, so everybody's pointing at him, but he didn't take all 33 of them.
No. Anthony Davis hit the side of the backboard.
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen that clip of Nurkic?
laughing at him.
To be honest, what they're struggling with is exactly what Bergman is describing. Greg, you perfectly described the conundrum. They've been told their whole life,
take the open shot.
If you're wide open and they're giving you that 3, you have to take it. I am here to tell you it's a whole new world. You do not have to take it. If you're ahead by 7 with 2 minutes to go, maybe it's a good idea to give the ball to LeBron and AD and see what the defense does.
Yeah.
Rather than dribble up. And by the way, I'm with Darvin. Had Russ dribbled up and attacked the rim, I would have said, okay, that makes sense. But to dribble up and take a 3 that they're daring you to take, begging you to take, because you're 5 for 30 at that point, is dumb.
So I have a theory in life that you just need to know what you're good at and stay in your lane. I mean, it's always good to try to push yourself.
In the NFL, they say, do your job. Don't worry about doing somebody else's job.
You remember when Shaq used to, somebody would inbound the ball to Shaq?
Yeah.
And he's dribbling up the court. And you can see no one's guarding him.
Right.
Could he dribble down and be Shaq on the break? Go coast to coast with it? Yes. And sometimes he did. But should he do that? No.
All right, you mentioned Shaq. Something that happened over the weekend reminded me of perhaps my most infamous moment with Shaq. I'll explain that coming up. First, let me tell you that 710 ESPN is the only station giving you a chance to win $1 million. Listen all day today to play $1 Million Mondays. Just for playing the game, you'll win. Just if you get through and we pick you as the winner. 2 tickets to the Rams-Niners game this Sunday at SoFi. And you'll have a chance to win $1 million. If you give us your Super Bowl prediction, tell us who the 2 teams are, and nail the final score. So that's coming up. Greg, we don't say when we're doing it exactly. Right? It's when we hear the
you
sounder.
You got to listen.
Okay, so we'll play a sounder for you to call, and when it's time, 877-710-ESPN. I'm not saying it's time now, but whenever it is, you'll hear the sounder, the cue to call, and your chance to win $1 million. When we come back, I was a sideline reporter for a lot of years. You've done sidelines. You've done sidelines for the NBA Finals for ESPN Radio. Mike Trudell does it now, our buddy. A sideline reporter learned something over the weekend that I once learned the hard way, and I'll explain coming up next. Momo in for Mace. I'm John Ireland. Mason and Ireland, ESPNLA.
ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
$1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play. We're going to try and give away $1 million today. Bergman's here. We're doing Bobcat coming up later this hour.
John's going to try to make me cry.
Momo claims she can cry on command, and so we're going to do a segment later. She says, I don't want to script the show. I'm basically going to do a segment later. I'm not going to tell you when I'm going to do it, where I'm going to say, all right, Momo, this is the Momo Cry segment. We'll talk about whatever you want, and you can
So the way I do it, okay, and I cry a lot. People don't think I'm a crier.
Yeah.
But I get connected to people and to stories. And like literally the other day, I was up in San Francisco. I'm doing a story on Klay Thompson, and I was connecting to Klay and what he went through in his personal journey, like having all those injuries. And I started telling him about something that I went through, and that I started crying. I'm like,
when you were with Klay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, so if I'm going to cry, it has to be authentic. But I think I can put myself there. The only problem is you guys are going to start laughing at me, being like, okay, you're going to cry,
No, I won't laugh, and you can watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube.com/ESPNLA.
I claim she will not be able to produce real tears before Game of Games. So if she
Either
can
that,
do it, she wins.
Or I will,
Wanna bet?
I will pinch myself really
Do you
hard.
think she can?
I think she can.
All right,
I got trust in Momo.
Okay, what? $2,000?
$2,000.
All right, $2,000 mythical money.
Man.
I'm
See,
against
that's too much pressure on it. It's not gonna feel authentic.
No, you're not gonna be able to. Oh, look.
What see, now you're gonna play the music. It's gonna make me laugh.
No, that should make you. That should get you in the mood to cry. Right.
If you want to make me cry, you have to play this song by Andrea Bocelli and his son.
Okay, we'll find.
That's the one that makes me cry because it makes me think about my sons.
All right, now. Okay.
And how beautiful it is.
You can't
to
laugh.
have kids. No, I'm not there yet. Not there yet. Don't make me laugh. See, that's the problem. I'm gonna start getting emotional, and then I'm gonna start. Then you're gonna look at me, and you're gonna be like,
it's hard. Most people cannot cry on command. I remember I went and saw Bryan Cranston do Network, and where he played Howard Beale.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, he starts as a real pompous-ass network anchor, and by the end of it, he has a complete nervous breakdown, and Cranston's on the stage in a ball in full tears. And he had to do it for every performance.
Oh.
And I told him afterwards, I went, Brian, I don't know how you do it.
That's hard.
That's like, he goes, you just got to get to a place where, you're a mess.
Yeah.
And but it was so good. So good. All right, so I mentioned that I had a little bit of a flashback over the weekend. And that's because maybe my most famous interaction with Shaquille O'Neal was Super Bowl Sunday 2004. Now, back then, I was working for KCBS KCAL, and we had no delay, Momo.
Yeah.
And so every station, including ours, every radio and television station, operates under an FCC license that if we don't follow the rules, the FCC can take our license away, and they can fine us if we violate the rules. And one of the things is the 7 dirty words. There are 7 words you cannot say.
The 7 dirty words.
Yeah, you cannot. George Carlin does a great comedy bit on this.
That's funny.
You cannot say on airways, and if you do it, it's a $500,000 fine. So imagine when I'm interviewing Shaq, okay?
Okay.
This was in Toronto. Very hard-fought game. Coming down the stretch. And the Lakers throw the ball into Shaq, and he gets killed. He get no whistle. Then Vince Carter, the Lakers are leading by 1. Vince Carter comes down, and they slam him to the ground. No whistle. Lakers win. So when the Lakers win, I'm allowed to go on the court and grab a player. If they lose, I don't get a player. So the Lakers win. I grab Shaq. And this is what happened. You'll hear the first one clear as day. Well, they'll be beeped. But he swore twice. Here's what happened.
I know you were frustrated at how the officiating went down the stretch there, but you guys pulled it out and was a big win.
David Stern wonder why the league is losing money. That's why. People pay good money to come watch these athletes play, and they try to take over the game.
Shaq, we're on live. I know. Let me ask you this.
So he says, people pay good money to see these games, and they take over the effing game. But he said the F word. And I said, Shaq, we're on live. He said, I don't give a blank. So in my head, that's $1 million. Okay? I just cost my station $1 million. I'm figuring this might be the last time I ever do this job. And then I got him to keep talking and get out of it. He got suspended for the next game.
Okay.
So it cost him like $250,000. Bergman knows the answer to this story, but we did not get fined a penny. Do you know why?
Why?
Something that happened later that day. So I'm a CBS-owned station.
I think I know this answer.
The Justin Timberlake, Janet
Jackson
wardrobe wardrobe malfunction.
Nip slip.
They fined us for that and let the Shaq thing slide. So anyway, the reason I thought about it was over the weekend, Washington was playing Cal. Okay? So you think about one of the most famous people that went to Cal to play football was Marshawn Lynch. Then he went on to play for the Seahawks. So he's there, and the sideline reporter doing the game finds Marshawn Lynch. Says, hey, can I do a quick sideline interview with her? Well, it ended exactly how you think a sideline interview with Marshawn Lynch. Her wireless mic goes out here, and you lose it for a second, but you'll get the idea.
I'm from the Bay Area, but when I look around the stands and I see that these stands, how they were when we were here, that kind of got me on tip.
On tip.
He swears twice.
By the way, he's going to be on the Amazon Thursday Night Football broadcast pretty soon. They've just added him to the lineup.
Yeah. So it was one of two things I saw over the weekend that that jumped out at me about college football before we get to the UCLA debacle.
Oh, I didn't think you were going to touch that.
So the movie Animal House. Do you know this? The movie Animal House was filmed at the University of Oregon.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So there's a famous toga party where
you make me wanna.
This is Otis Day and the Knights. I actually hired these guys for a party at UCLA, and they were great. And they play this, and everybody does the toga.
Nice.
And then now there's a part in there where you go, now wait a minute, and everybody gets down and does the limbo, and you go as low as you go. Okay, so I didn't know this, but UCLA is playing Oregon. And at the end of the third quarter, they play this over the loudspeaker, and all the stands and all the players and everybody on the field start doing this part of the song. And they start getting lower, lower, lower. Now, I'm going to play this on the radio. I don't know if this will turn out, but here's how it sounded on Fox.
I mean, he's been
that's
great.
The wrong. Wait, whoops, wrong.
That was Darvin Ham.
This one is how it sounded.
A little bit louder now. Shout here in Eugene.
So picture the entire crowd going low.
Yeah.
Everybody in the stands is going super low. And now the whole thing, see how quiet it is? All the players on the field are down in a catcher stance going lower. They're just going low. And the whole stadium's quiet. And you're like, what is happening here? Why isn't anybody making any noise? Then they all start to get up. And the Oregon Duck is doing it. Woo! The whole crowd is going. Listen to him. 80,000 people doing this song in sync.
Yeah.
It was spectacular. And so Sabrina Ionescu was the guest picker. And I guess I've been to like 5 games in Eugene.
I've never heard this.
I hadn't either.
Wow.
And she explained that it started, she was there like 5 years ago. She said about 10 years ago they started doing it.
Got it.
And now anybody that goes to Oregon knows the bit.
Got it. So like at Stanford, we have All Right Now. We play all that by Free. Okay,
Yeah.
All Right Now. And then there's a part where they do, and then they go, dun, dun. And when you hear that, you go, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then everyone will jump. Okay, and you hit the thing. Everyone who goes to Stanford knows this. There it is. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. Woo! And like the whole stadium will jump.
Right.
I mean, we're not any good anymore, okay? But I still will rock out to this song. You're going to make me... This is not good for my crying. This is not good getting me in the mood to cry. How is this going to help me cry?
Yeah, you're not. You're not going to cry.
It'll make you think about your days at Stanford, and you'll start
glory
getting
days.
sad.
I'm going to play a little of that.
When you were really good at softball.
All right. Okay, let me slip this one more thing in, and then we'll pivot.
5, 6, 7, 8. Woo! See?
I like it.
You can see that on YouTube, but
Okay.
Momo jumping.
So, do you like coaches that you played collegiately? Did you like it when your coach had your back, or if you played bad, were you okay with him being brutally honest about how
Publicly
bad
or
you
privately?
played? Publicly.
Fine with it.
Okay. Mike Leach, the coach of Mississippi State, his team lost 30-6 to Alabama.
Yeah, it was not
Tell
good.
me if you like what he said after the game or if it's a little bit throwing his team under the bus. Here's what he said.
We've got some guys that are afraid of the jersey that says Alabama on it. We spend a lot of time frightened of their jerseys. You know,
such a good quote.
You want to scare some of the guys on our team. Put an Alabama jersey on; it'll scare the hell out of them.
Do you like it or not like it?
I like it. Look, I just wired differently. You can say whatever you want to me.
Right.
Like, it's nothing I haven't said to myself. It's literally nothing. You cannot say anything that is going to hurt me in a way that I already am not self-aware about myself. Like, it's sometimes, will it hurt my feelings? Sure. There's certain things I'm touchy about. But most of the time, I'm very aware of it, and I've already beat myself up over it, and I already am a perfectionist and mad at myself about it. So if my coach said, go ahead. Fine, bring it.
Do you remember John McKay, the old USC football coach? So he was a national championship winning coach at USC in the 70s. And surprisingly, in the middle of his national championship run, he took the job at the expansion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They gave him the proverbial offer you can't refuse. And they went winless. Here's a guy who used to win in 10 games every year. They go 0-14 in their first season.
Yeah.
And one of the reporters asked John McKay, what did you think of your team's execution? And he goes, I'm in favor of it.
Good line.
Yeah. I mean, I like coaches that are honest.
Me too.
Yeah.
I like people that are honest.
Right.
Like, I don't want to connect everything always back to the Lakers and Westbrook, but this, to me, the way you move forward in a situation like this is you either send him home, get rid of the toxicity, or get brutally honest. Like, get in. Don't pull your punches anymore. Say what you mean. Say what you think, and then let's see how people respond.
It's interesting. Kendrick Perkins played with Russ.
Yep.
And is friends with him. And it's hard for him to talk about Russ.
Yep.
But I think Russ is being scapegoated. I don't think he's the biggest problem the Lakers have. I've said, if you've been listening to the last hour, the Lakers shoot too many threes for my taste. I wish they would get down to where New Orleans and the Clippers are, shoot 25, 27 threes. Instead of, they're averaging 39 a game. But Perk, Ramona, is a step past you. He thinks they should send
I was
Russ.
on the show with him. I know what he said.
He thinks they should send Russ home right now. Here's Kendrick Perkins this morning on Get Up.
What do you do now? You know what you do? You send them home. You send them home. You send them home until you find a place to trade, that somebody's going to trade for him. Because right now you can't continue to bring him into that locker room, bring him into that facility, because his attitude is going to weigh on everybody. It's going to weigh on the coaching staff. It's going to weigh on his teammates. It's going to weigh on the training staff. And look, we get it. At this point in time, there's no reason to try to make the relationship work. That's gone. Russell Westbrook is not changing. I love the brother to death, but his attitude, he is who he is at this point.
All right, I disagree with Perk. I think if you can get Russ to follow the rules, he's doing enough good things where he can help you.
I think he's been better.
Yeah, and
like, his defense is good, John.
Here's the good thing if you're a Laker fan. I know we're 0-3, which nobody wants. They've gotten better each game. Like, they were never going to win the Warrior game. They almost won the Clipper game. They should have won the Portland game. Now, it's going to get hard. Michael and I fly to Denver tomorrow. They're going to play Denver, who a lot of people think might be the team that wins the most games in the West. We're at Denver on Wednesday night. We're at Minnesota on Friday. Ooh. And Minnesota boat raced us twice in the preseason. So it's not going to be easy. But I'm not one of these people willing to leave Westbrook Island.
John, it's killing me, man. It's killing me. Get off of Westbrook Island. Swim away. See you, man.
No, I'm not done yet. It's me, it's Pat Beverly, and a Wilson volleyball. Eric Pincus over at Bleacher Report has a suggestion for what the Lakers might do. We'll share that with you next. Mason in Ireland, Momo in for Mace, ESPNLA.
710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
$1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play. we've got Frank Rodarte from Long Beach is on the line. Hey, Frank, congratulations, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Okay, so
How are you guys?
we're good. So just for getting this far, you get 2 tickets to the Rams 49ers game this Sunday at SoFi Stadium. And now is your chance to win $1 million. So Frank Rodarte from Long Beach, give us your Super Bowl prediction. Tell us the 2 teams and the final score.
All right, it's going to be the game of the birds. It's going to be the Baltimore Ravens 30 and the Philadelphia Eagles 24.
Oh, I like that prediction. All right, Frank, good luck. And if you didn't win this time, you can listen to Sedano and Cap for another chance to play $1 Million Monday.
Listen every Monday for $1 Million Monday this football season on LA's Mega $1 Million sports station.
Everybody's got a prize.
710 ESPN.
All right, Ramona is hell-bent on saying that she can cry on command. So she is digging up old texts from Kobe that she thinks is going to make her sad. You have that? You have her song, Jorge? All right, you're trying to get there. Oh!
Don't make me laugh. You smile at me.
No, I'm not.
So this is Andrea Bocelli, and he's singing with his son, Matteo, who, by the way, is so hot.
Okay.
Like, unbelievably hot.
You're talking about how hot he is. You're not crying.
I know. But he's at the Hollywood Bowl, and he says to the crowd, like Andrea Bocelli, who's blind, right?
Yeah.
So he's already a very inspirational person.
Mm-hmm.
And he says to the crowd, like, when I was a young father, I had children. And one day my son comes up to me and says, Dad, I want to be a great singer just like you. And he looks at him and he's like, my God, it's my son. He wants to be a great singer just like me, but what a tough mountain to climb, right? And I didn't know this was coming, right? Like, I'm in the stands and I'm pregnant at the time.
Right.
And I was like,
so you're
oh my
emotional.
God, I'm emotional, super hormonal. Don't laugh.
Okay.
And I'm waiting for the chorus. And so he gets to this, and all of a sudden he starts singing. And then they get to the duet, and his son comes out there. And it's just so beautiful because he talks about fathers and sons and just passing that on from one generation to the next. And I just think about my own son and my own life and how beautiful it is when I see him.
Oh, she's close.
When you just see him, like the other day, he says to me, and we're going to the pump. I got there!
Oh, unbelievable!
I did it!
Wait,
that is hard.
I can see why. Yeah, you did. You cried. God dang it.
That is hard.
Yeah.
Hey, that's money for me. Mythical money.
I can't believe you pulled it off. I cry.
I can do it, right?
I cry at the drop of a hat, and I
Nice
cannot.
job, Momo.
My eye makeup.
I cannot
I
cry.
can get there,
You
though.
did mess up your eye makeup.
I did. Am I just all black and everywhere? Yeah.
Okay.
Although eye makeup all over.
So
But all I have to do is think about that feeling. You have to
Right.
really. I can't look at you though. You notice I had to look down.
I was. Yeah, you
it's
were.
pretty good. I can act, huh?
Yeah, that was excellent. Mason claims he can do. You can't do it.
It's method though. You
Yeah.
you have to have the song, and then when he brings out his son, it's just like, oh, they get to the duet. It's just the most beautiful thing in the world. Okay.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Yeah.
I know everybody wants to run Westbrook out of town on a rail. You know.
John, killing me, man. Killing me. Get off of Westbrook Island. Swim away. Yeah, man.
All right, that's my friend Ami. No, I'm refusing to give up after only 3 games. But Eric Pincus from Bleacher Report wrote an article over the weekend where he points this out. Bergman, you're on the committee to break up with Russ, right? You would do it today if you were running the
I would
thing?
send him home today. Yes.
Okay.
100%.
So I would
with
not.
Kendrick.
I would not.
I
Now,
don't
but
know
here's
what you're
Pincus. I'm watching a team miss a lot of threes. The Lakers may not have a solution to their shooting woes, but closing games with Westbrook is not the answer. He's averaging 28 minutes per game, despite only shooting 29% from the field and 8% from 3. And so what is happening is when Russ is on the court late in the games, the other team isn't guarding him because they don't think he can score. So how about we keep Russ, because, again, I'm on Russell Westbrook Island, and I think he can help us win. But, Greg, we don't play him in the closing 5 minutes. What do you think?
Totally fine. Absolutely not. Because they would have won that game if he wasn't on the floor in those last couple minutes. Probably. Most likely. They went on a nice big run with Lonnie Walker and Kendrick Nunn, whoever was also on the floor.
Ramona is still trying to save her eye makeup.
My eye makeup is done.
I mean,
I
you're
look
on YouTube,
ridiculous right now.
not on TV.
But, hey, YouTube is TV. What are you talking about?
It's close enough.
All right,
The
so
internet
Momo,
lives forever.
Could Darvin, and keep in mind this is coming from a guy who wants to keep Russ, could Darvin get away with that? Could he get away with use Russ and in the last 5 minutes close with a different group?
Yeah, that's going to happen.
Okay.
I mean, I'm telling you.
But Russ,
I can see what this
Russ won't cause a problem for being benched.
He might, but to me, okay, how are you as a breaker-upper when you were single?
Pretty good. Like,
how long did it take you to get to the? Yeah, I bet you are.
One way or the other.
So do
really
you
good
wait
at it.
until there's absolutely no chance, or do you you put somebody on notice, and then you see if things change? Do you?
Can I honestly answer your question? This is embarrassing to admit.
It's okay.
Depends how hot she is.
I get it. Depends on how much you care. Yeah. I mean, look, for me, I am like
you'll put up with more from Kate Beckinsale than you will from someone else.
I get it. I mean, look, for me, like I don't even think about it as just romantically. Like even in relationships or friendships or whatever it is, I like to have given somebody every chance to make it work.
Right.
And then it's really clear.
Okay, wait. I'm glad you brought this up. Because, Greg, I would argue that if you cut bait with Russ and send him home today, you did not give it every chance to make it work.
I would argue the same thing.
You have brand new coaching staff. They're asking him to do a lot of different stuff. Sure, offensively, he's been a little bit of a disaster, but he's been good defensively. He's getting a lot of steals. He's pushing the pace. Do you know, Bergman, that the Lakers are the number 1 team in defensive efficiency after 3 games, but number 30 offensive efficiency? So he's helped you get to that number 1. He's also helped you get to that number 30. I think what you do is say, look, you're helping us, but you're not playing to your strengths. If you keep shooting threes and keep taking dumb shots, I have to pull you out. So don't do that anymore and see if they can get a win. That's what I would do. How about you?
See, the only issue that I have with that is that it all sounds great in theory. But the problem is, what has Russ shown at any point in his career, at any time, whether that's college or pro or anything over the last whatever amount of years he's been in the league, that he can do those things, that he will actually get himself to listen to the coaching staff and not take these terrible shots whenever he wants?
It's a new coaching staff. So
he's been on 100 different coaching staffs.
Right, but do you think 3 games is enough to reach that conclusion?
Sure, no, not after 3 games. But I mean, we've seen enough all of last year. And now what we're seeing all of this year, even if it's 3 games and in the preseason, the guy just doesn't want to go on to follow along with what the coaching staff wants him to do. What everybody wants him to do, what everybody can see that he needs to do, he's not going to because he is his own man and he's going to play his own game.
Wait,
so,
am
I wrong, Momo?
You don't think Westbrook is capable of fitting into this system? Because I do.
Right now. Okay, let me tell you
okay.
Today is a story time. Okay.
Are we going to cry on this one too? YouTube.com/ESPNLA.
I might. I don't know. I was actually pretty impressed. I did it as fast as I could.
Did a good job.
I did. I had to get there. The thing with when you have a situation like where Russ is, it reminds me a lot of Carmelo when he was in Oklahoma City, where they eventually sent him home. And then there was a year of everybody saying, Carmelo Anthony should be in the league. Carmelo Anthony, why isn't anybody taking him on your team? And eventually, he gets back on Portland, and then he gets on the Lakers. But he really did change eventually. He was fine coming off the bench. He had no ego. He was
right because
he became a 3-point shooter.
He saw the big picture.
Right?
Yep.
I remember when I had my back injury, right? February 2021, I had back surgery. It was after about 6 months of trying everything to avoid it, PT, epidurals, yada, yada, okay? Nothing worked. I was in tons of pain. I had to do the shows laying down or standing up. It sucked, okay? But I had the surgery. I'm all better now. I feel so much better. And people come to me now that know that I had the surgery and said, okay, who did you go to? How did you know you had to have surgery? Our boss, Amanda, came to me. Same thing.
Right.
And one person who I referred to my surgeon said, I think I'm there. I think I'm ready to have the surgery. And I'm not going to name names because it's their personal life, okay?
Right. But
I think I'm ready. It's just not getting better. And, there's a sort of brokenness about you that you get. And so you have to accept it. And I said, okay, well, here's my surgeon's number. Call him, and he'll get you there. You got to see if it's the right move. And about a month later, I said to the surgeon, okay, did so-and-so call you? It's a well-renowned person, so I don't want.
Yeah.
And he said, no, they haven't called yet. I go, really? I'm surprised because they seemed like they were there. They were really in pain. And the surgeon says, well, it must not hurt enough.
Yeah.
And I know exactly what that means because he goes, because when people are really in pain, like they know, like they're gonna call, and you're not gonna waste any more time. Like you're gonna change. And so there's this thing with Westbrook, like it doesn't hurt enough yet. Whatever it is,
well, wait a
like
minute.
he's still starting. He's still in the closing lineup. He is embarrassed as he probably was last night. I'm sure he got to be embarrassed to get pulled out of the game in the last 3 possessions. You're a future Hall of Famer. That's like incredibly disrespectful and tough to deal with for him. But it doesn't hurt enough yet. Like it's not to a point where you have to change. Carmelo did not change until he was out of the league.
Right.
Till he was out of the league.
Here's the problem. If the Lakers, John Wall, Russ, who's picking him up?
No one.
Yeah.
Not right now.
Yeah.
Now, the question, and also that would require him to do a buyout, which he also doesn't want to do.
Right.
So that's why I think the middle solution is going to be what happens next. This is just my guess, okay? I'm not reporting anything, but this is my guess.
Right.
I think they give this a couple more games, few more games, whatever it is. See where they are, because you're right, John. He has played better defense. He has done some of the things that they have asked him to do. He just hasn't done it enough. But you already saw a big move yesterday. That was a big move taking him out of the closing lineup.
Right. But then they put him back in.
No, at the end. Okay, so they took him out.
Yeah, right.
And put him back in, and then the last 3 plays, he was not in the game.
They wanted
he was on the bench. He was on the bench.
Shooter.
So to me, that is a big move to not have Russell on the. He's going to sit with that. So what comes next? I think what comes next is either not starting, not closing, or both. And that's probably coming sooner than anyone realizes.
I don't understand why, and I'm not making this about Russ, because I think Russ is unfairly scapegoated for a lot of this stuff. But I don't understand why guys who aren't making threes feel the need to shoot them over and over and over again. If it's not working.
It's like the anti-Ben Simmons.
Right.
It's like.
If it's not working, attack. Move in a few feet. Go to the rim. Throw the ball to Anthony Davis. Throw the ball to LeBron. If you take a wide-open three that the other team is begging you to shoot, and you miss it, and you miss it, and you miss it, and you miss it to the tune of 5 of 33, you think maybe we should shoot closer to 20 instead of 30? I do.
Well, and it's also it's when you have a lack of confidence in a certain shot. Most people, what's the phrase? Shoot or shoot. Keep shooting. Keep taking.
Well,
We'll go in.
What about if you have no shooters?
That's a different problem.
If you're not a shooter,
that's a different problem.
If you're not a shooter, should you still shoot? No,
it's
not rocket
but
science.
Listen, did you not hear the quote earlier
Bergman
in the year?
And I could go down there and go and shoot 5 of 33 from 3.
Listen,
about that.
I'm not a shooter. I know what I'm good at. You know what? You know when I played basketball, what my game was? I had a Rajon Rondo game. I had good handles. I had good vision. I played pretty decent defense, and sometimes I had a bad attitude.
Were you good? Were you good at Connect 4?
Yeah, good at that kind of. Okay, like I was good. My role was usually, you got 5 fouls, use them. Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna put you on the opposing team's best offensive play. You just stay in front of them, make it hard on them. Okay, and whatever you can give us offensively, great. I would get like 5 steals a game, dribble down, blow the layup. I was not good at that. So you know what I started doing? I would pull it back out. I didn't care if the layup was wide open. I didn't want to miss it again.
Not rocket science, people.
But wait.
Stop shooting threes.
Okay, fine. If you don't have shooters on this team, there's no shooters on this team. We've agreed that there's no shooters, right?
Yeah.
Then what are we playing for? You're not going to go deep into a playoff run with no shooters. That's just not possible.
We would have won the game yesterday if we would have taken.
No, I'm talking about a full season's worth.
Well,
you're not going to go deep in the playoffs. Even if you make the playoffs, if you're not going to go deep, if you have no shooters, move them. Send them home.
Do you agree with me that the roster we're looking at right now will not be the roster after the All-Star break?
I would hope not.
So would I. But
what if it is?
You just dial back the shooting from 3 until you get some shooters in here. If they would have traded for Bojan Bogdanovic and Buddy Hield, but I'm saying that could be coming. So in the meantime, you got to pile up wins where you can get them. Yesterday's an example of a game they should have won. If they take 25 threes like New Orleans instead of 33 threes like we did, and we're averaging, by the way, Greg, 39 a game, just dial that number back. You're a really good 2-point team. Get the wins. Wait for the cavalry to show up when Rob gets a chance to tweak the roster and get you some shooters and roll the dice from there.
Where do you see these wins for the Nuggets, the Timberwolves, Nuggets, Pelicans, Jazz, Cavaliers,
I think
Jazz,
we can
Clippers?
win both of these games on the road if we don't keep jacking up threes.
You think they're going to beat the Nuggets and the Wolves?
I think there's one win on this trip. If they can get their threes under 30 or below.
I think it's more likely you go 0-7 to start the season.
Well, you could, but you're a hater.
No,
So
well, it's not. I love the team.
Keep hope alive.
I don't see them being the Nuggets.
I am here to provide hope. Hope.
The Pelicans.
Westbrook Island. Hope.
Maybe the Jazz.
You know what this
Come
is?
on.
You're like trying to see credit.
Killing me, man. Killing me.
Wait, why are we playing this?
Of Westbrook Island. Swim.
Who let him in?
Swim away.
Who let Ami on the show?
Yeah, man.
This is ridiculous. All right, coming up next, something happened on a plane that would freak me the hell out.
Whoa.
How would you handle it? I'll throw it at you next. Mason and Ireland, ESPNLA. Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
$710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
$1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
Air guitar.
Mason in Ireland. Momo's in for Mace. We got Bobcat coming up in about 10 minutes. Get Bergman in here to throw a bunch of stuff at us. Momo cried on command. I lost $2,000 in mythical money. I didn't think she could do it.
I didn't know if I could do it. I just had false confidence.
I am trying to talk Laker fans off the ledge. Everybody is scapegoating Russell Westbrook. They want to run him out of town. I am the last person on Russell Westbrook Island.
John, killing me, man. Killing me. Get off of Westbrook Island.
No.
Swim
No swimming.
away. Yeah, man.
No, I'm not swimming away. I think that it's easy to point fingers at one guy. I think the problem is a lack of awareness about how bad we are from three-point shooting. And I think if we dial back the threes, right now we're averaging 39 a game, okay? The team that's averaging the fewest amount of threes in the league is New Orleans. They're really good. They shoot 25 a game. The Clippers shoot 27 a game. Be more like that. Be more like the Pelicans, more like the Clippers.
I just texted this to you. It's Kurt Goldsberry who does these cool shot charts
Great
and stuff.
NBA guy, yeah.
Okay. This is three-point shooting by team, volume and efficiency, okay? The first quadrant is how many attempts you're taking, right? The first upper left is how many attempts.
Right.
And
Lakers are 7th in the NBA.
Okay. And how many you're making. So the team that actually
Lakers
has
are dead last.
the best in terms of percent made by lowest number taken is
Most
the
efficient.
Cleveland Cavaliers, 44.3% of only 29.3 three-point attempts a game.
Okay.
So in other words, they're not taking very many, but they're making a lot of them. The team that has the lowest, okay, in the exact opposite, essentially, is the Lakers, making 21.2% of 39.3 attempts a game.
Right, that's the number. The 39 is the number I want to see go down. And I know Darvin and the coaching staff is going to say, you guys got to keep taking the open threes. We got to find our three-point stroke. You really don't. You can keep giving. You can keep attacking the rim. Use it as a weapon. I'd love to see the Lakers at this game in Denver tomorrow night shoot, or it's actually going to be Wednesday night, shoot 25 to 33s and see what happens.
Yeah, there's really nobody even. The only one even close is the Bulls. They're making 29.3%, so a little better than the Lakers.
10% better.
10% better than the Lakers, but they're only taking 30.7 per game.
Yeah, that's where we need to get.
In other words, they're taking nine less.
Okay. I'm on a flight tomorrow, LAX to Denver. Something happened at the Newark airport on a United Airlines flight last Monday that I want to ask you how you would handle it. You go on a lot of planes.
Yeah.
All right. The plane had landed at Newark around 1:15 p.m. after a 2-hour flight from Tampa and was taxiing towards its gate when shrieks were heard from the plane's business class section. The reason people were screaming in business class is because a snake had slithered from the cargo through the plane and into the cabin and was slithering down the aisle. What's your move if you're in your seat and here comes a snake?
Enough is enough. I have had it with these monkey-fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane.
Thank you, Sam Jackson. It's real-life snakes on a plane. Bergman, you're in your seat, minding your own business.
Oh, my God.
Monday to Friday snakes
comes slithering down the aisle. How do you handle it?
I mean, there's nothing you can do. What kind of snake are we talking about here? Are we talking like an anaconda? Or are we talking about like
let's say it's a dangerous one.
A dangerous one. I'm getting the hell out of there as fast as I
How?
possibly
You're on a plane.
You can't go anywhere.
You're taxiing. You're
Cover into
required
a
to stay in your seat with your seatbelt fastened.
If I got to kick it in the face, if I got to do whatever I got to do, I'm saving myself at that point.
What happens?
Opening up the doors?
No. Okay.
Am I in the exit lane?
Greg, I'm going to make it harder on you.
Okay. Oh,
All
why
right?
you make it harder?
You see a snake slithering towards you.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
You're in the window seat, and in the aisle is a pregnant Ramona Shelburne.
Oh, I'm moving Ramona over, and I'm getting in front of her.
You would crawl over the pregnant woman?
What kind of snake
to
is
get
it?
to the snake, so
Let's
it
say
doesn't
it's
get
a
to
rattlesnake.
the
Let's
pregnant
say it's
Ramona.
dangerous.
Oh, yeah, that's scary. Yeah.
You can't crawl over a pregnant woman. You got to jump out there like Sam Jackson.
Yeah,
and take on the
I gotta
snake.
get out there
Or
in
hey,
front
what are
of
you
it.
doing? Snake on a plane. How do you handle it?
I'll try to run to the laboratory and lock myself in there somehow.
Wait a minute.
Go to the bathroom.
What happens if the pregnant Ramona needs the bathroom?
No, I'll hop. I'll go to the
You'll
seat
crawl
behind
over
me.
George Costanza.
Whoever's
You'll
behind
crawl
me.
over the pregnant woman. That doesn't.
Anything goes. When there's a
Man,
snake
that
in
would
there.
freak me
So,
the hell out.
it kind of depends on what kind of snake it is for me. If it's a rattlesnake, yeah, you don't mess around with that. But if it's just like a regular old snake, it's not going to hurt you. I live in the valley, man. We got snakes. We got coyotes. We got all kinds of dangerous things out there.
Yeah, if a snake gets on the plane, I would freak out. I don't know. All right. that would do it. All right, so the other thing I want to ask you about. Cardi B and Madonna got into it over the weekend. So Madonna wrote, remember Madonna's sex book?
Yes.
Where it was basically her naked in a bunch of pictures.
Yeah, changed my life.
Believe it or not, that came out 30 years ago this week.
I believe it.
Madonna's sex book. All right, so here's what Madonna wrote. 30 years ago, I published a book called Sex. In addition to photos of me naked, there were photos of men kissing men, women kissing women, and me kissing everyone. She went on to highlight the intense criticism she received at the time of the book's publication. Quote, now Cardi B can sing about WAP, Kim Kardashian can grace the cover of any magazine with her naked you-know-what, and Miley Cyrus can come out like a wrecking ball. You're welcome, bitches. So Madonna's point was she opened the door for people to be more risque today. Well, Cardi B was very, very offended by it. Here's what Cardi B wrote. I literally paid this woman homage so many times because I grew up listening to her. She can make her point without putting clown emojis and getting slick out the mouth. These icons really become disappointments once you make it in the industry. That's why I keep to myself. So it was... people were choosing sides. Like, was Madonna out of line to write what she wrote? And is Cardi B out of line for coming at Madonna? Pick a side, Momo. Are you Team Cardi or Team Madonna?
Team Madonna.
Why?
Because Cardi is going to be like Madonna one day. Mm-hmm. And Madonna's like 60.
Right.
Okay? And one of the things that Madonna did throughout her career, which was why she was Madonna and why she was so amazing for so many years, she constantly reinvented herself.
Right.
First she was the Material Girl, then she was in Like a Prayer, and then she was into Kabbalah, and then she was into Ray of Light, which was like more techno.
Yep.
Okay. And the older you get, the harder it is to do that.
To stay relevant, sure.
To stay relevant. And she kind of has receded from view, I think, the past 5-7 years-ish. You know, she's in her 50s. I went and saw her a little while ago, but in concert. But see, this is early Madonna, right?
Yeah. I love Madonna's music.
Me too. And she was, like, important for women of my generation. Like, she was really important in terms of being confident in yourself and not being ashamed of your sexuality and not being ashamed of wanting things in life or whatever. Okay, so she's all you need is your own imagination. You know,
right.
that was a huge message back in that era. Now we all take that for granted. Now there's too much of out there, right? And so I think Madonna gets to say that. You're the icon. You're the legend. And like maybe she went a little too far, okay? But if you're Cardi B, you're like, all right, thanks, Madonna. Thank you, Madge. Like it'd be like for me if Doris Burke gave me called me out a little bit, and it wasn't even a call out. Like if Doris Burke was like, I came up in an era where we covered with the game, and we didn't talk so much about the drama off the court. And you know what? She's right. She's totally right. Like, that would be fine. No, I'm not saying that actually happened. Or, like, Doris Burke, Jackie McMullen, somebody who was, like, a legend of the game. They get to criticize you a little bit. They just do.
By the way, had Cardi B... Bergman, are you Team Cardi or Team Madonna?
I think I'm with Momo here. It's Team Madonna.
Yeah, if Cardi would have come out after she wrote that...
Yeah.
...and wrote... and instead of saying, I can't believe she disrespected me, blah, 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 and would have wrote, hey, Madonna... Thanks for opening up that door for me. More to come.
Yeah.
You know, with a bunch of fire
emojis.
So I have an epilogue to this. Somebody put them on the phone together.
Good.
And so Cardi B, after all this over the weekend, today she tweeted, I talked to Madonna. It was beautiful. Have a great day and drive safely, all. And Madonna followed it up with, I love you, Cardi. Always have, always will.
Exactly.
So they're good now. But I thought Cardi looked bad coming after.
Yeah, come on, man. That's a legend right there.
Yeah.
And she's right. Okay, wait. Before we go, John.
Yeah.
You haven't heard this, okay? This has gone viral on the TikTok. Should we say the TikTok?
Okay.
Okay. Jorge has this in the system for us. I was in the makeup chair this morning getting ready for the show.
You were on NBA Today.
On NBA Today.
And I saw Malika last night.
and I was I was listening. I just heard this, and I go, "What in the heck was that?" And one of the makeup artists said, "You haven't seen this yet?" Apparently, some guy was on a plane and caught the gentleman next to him snoring. And it was so loud, he had to start recording it and posted it on TikTok with a caption, "If this was you, what would you do?" Play it. This is...
No way.
That is not a cow.
Is this a joke?
This is a real thing. This is a real person snoring on a plane next to this guy. So, of course, what he does is take his phone out and record a selfie video of him and put him on blast.
All right, what would you do if you're sitting next to that guy?
I think the right answer is probably to tap him on the shoulder and say, I got to go to the bathroom.
That's the wrong answer. Greg, what would you do?
I'm elbowing him saying, "Hey, buddy."
Nope,
that's
wrong
enough.
answer. Jorge?
Cover his nose?
No.
Oh.
Ice cube in his mouth?
No. 3 words. Actually, 2 words. One of these, the first one is hyphenated.
Noise-canceling
headphones.
Oh, really?
Oh, you're not. That's going through the noise-canceling headphones.
No, it's not.
Oh, that was
Play
loud.
it again. Play it again.
Isaac gave me these Sony noise-canceling headphones, and Greg, you literally could be standing next to my ear screaming, and I wouldn't hear you.
I mean, listen to this.
That's awesome.
I mean, I was sitting in the makeup chair.
All right,
and
we've taken all of Bergman's Bobcat time. We'll do
Sorry,
what
Bergman,
what
but this
time we
guy
have
snoring
left.
is amazing.
Yeah, not many minutes left.
Coming up next. Do you want to move this Toyota because we've taken all your time? All right, so now you have no time. New vehicles are arriving daily at your Southern California Toyota dealer. Check out the huge selection of cars and trucks like the new Tacoma with its tough exterior and incredible towing capacity.
710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
$1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
Greg.
Thanks a lot, Chris and Amanda. And all right, I'm going to go really slow since I don't have much time.
Yeah, take your time. Take your time.
Matt Ryan is making $24 million this year and $29 million next year. Ryan has thrown for over 2,000 yards through 7 games with 9 touchdowns and 9 picks. He does have a shoulder injury, but the 3-3-1 Colts are in second place in the NFC South and are benching Matt Ryan for Sam Ehlinger, and is not because of his injury. Ehlinger was a 6th-round pick out of Texas in 2021. He will be the quarterback for the rest of the season. What do you think the Colts should do with Ryan?
Well, Matt Ryan is a great institutional resource. I think you have to keep him around in case Ehlinger stinks or gets hurt, so you can go back to him.
So he's a $24 million backup?
Well, if you cut him, who's going to be the backup?
Trade him?
Well, who would trade for him?
I don't know. Somebody that needs a quarterback.
Like who?
There's plenty of like what is that? Charlotte.
Charlotte
just upset Tampa in the biggest upset of the season. Why
Carolina. Sorry, Carolina, not Charlotte.
Yeah. Why would you bench that?
Yeah. I'm a producer.
Yeah.
How much is he owed?
$24 million, $29 next year.
But
yeah.
is it
guaranteed?
It's probably
or
not guaranteed. The NFL,
Next year is guaranteed $12 million.
Yeah. You might have to cut bait there. Yeah, but I think this year you keep them on the roster, don't you?
I would. Yeah, keep them on the roster. They're not. I mean, what are they now? 3-2, 3-3,
3-3-1.
3-3-1.
In second place in the South.
Yeah, I mean that's a winnable division. I still think you might need him. Keep him. I wouldn't do anything with him. If you're gonna move him, do it in the offseason.
All right, I like it.
Bobcat.
All right, let's. So I went to Costa Rica this year, earlier in the year, which you guys know, and I'm ready to start planning for my vacation for next year. Obviously, the Rams won't be there, so I'm not going to have to worry about that so much. But so where should I go? I'll probably go with a friend or my brother or something like that. Where should I go? I don't really care about distance, although I don't want to be on a plane too long if not necessary.
Okay.
What are you into?
Hawaii is not.
No. I need to go. No, I need to go
because you live there.
I live there, and I need to go out of the country.
Okay. You ever been to Italy?
Yes, I have. It was wonderful.
Yeah, that's where I would send you.
All right, I got
London, UK. Yeah.
All right. What are you looking for in a vacation? That's what I need to know. You looking
one
for
word,
adventure or relaxation
Momo,
or partying?
One word. He's looking for an heiress.
Right.
Yes.
I got it.
No, but adventure, and also a little bit of downtime between. But I'm happy to go see all the stuff.
You're gonna go to the Greek islands.
Ooh, that'd be amazing. Nice. But I need a girl to go with me.
No,
with that one.
No, there are girls there.
No. You're going to go to Mykonos. That is the party island.
Mykonos. Okay.
Okay. There are the kind of clubs that people who go to the Greek islands like to leave. It's kind of like the Vegas, like whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. You're gonna go to Mykonos. You're gonna go out on the town. Okay, you're gonna go to one of those like all-inclusive resorts and out on the town. And then during the day, you'll sleep in, and then you can rent a boat. You can charter a yacht. You're gonna meet people there. You're gonna go all around. But like Mykonos is your spot, Greg Bergman.
Mykonos, I'm in.
Okay,
I love
there
it.
you go. You're all
set. Momo, you win.
It's Bobcat. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Momo.
Yeah.
Jorge, what you got?
Okay, so the NFL has 2 refs under investigation for what it appears they were asking Mike Evans for an autograph in the tunnel as the
it's not good. It's not
what
good.
should be the punishment, or what is the NFL going to do if they find out?
Those guys can't stay.
Yeah,
those refs can't stay. Matter of fact, there's a very strict policy.
Yeah,
I've been with the Lakers for 22 years. I'm not allowed to ask anybody to sign anything ever. If I need something desperately, I will go to one of my bosses at the Lakers and say, hey, do you mind if I give this to the equipment manager with the intent of getting it signed at some point? And sometimes they'll say, sure, but I can count the amount of times I've done that on 2 fingers in 20 years. You can't be an official, Momo.
Yeah.
And getting out that Mike Evans did you a favor. So if there's a tough pass interference call next week, and they don't call it, or they do call it in favor of Mike Evans, that's a terrible look.
Yeah, just a bad look.
Yeah, you can't do it. You can't do that. I think that's an assumption that people make, that we have access to players so we can get stuff signed. It's completely the opposite.
Yeah, you got to always be careful about the optics of that. But also, it's like, it's even, it may seem harmless in that moment, but how do you think Mike Evans feels about that too? Like, can he say, what if he says no?
Right.
Okay, how's he going to feel next time you call a PI on him?
Right,
it's going to be an offensive pass.
Right?
That's why. That's why the rule exists. You're not allowed to ask players to sign anything.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Have you ever asked anybody for an autograph, Momo? Anybody ever?
No. Well, ever?
So you meet so many people. There's no reason for you.
I think I did. I think I did with the U.S. women's soccer team. Okay. I met them. I went up to Santa Barbara and had a game there. I think I got their autograph when I was like a kid.
Okay.
I'm not really an autograph person, though, anyway.
Yeah,
I wouldn't spend money on memorabilia like that. I bought a Muhammad Ali boxing glove for Nevin. It was a present.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
do you take pictures with people?
Sometimes. Sometimes I've taken a few photos.
Picture person taker either. John, do you take pictures with
people?
Try to.
You try to? If they ask and I have time.
No. I mean, like if you walked up to, if you saw LeBron, you're going to ask him to take a picture with him?
No, I don't do that.
No,
or,
never.
Matthew Stafford, you're not going to take a picture
never.
with him.
Well, I did it one time. I take it back. I was at a charity event. I was emceeing a charity event, and I looked over to my right, and it was at the height of Breaking Bad. And Aaron Paul was at the table next to me.
Uh-huh.
And I said, hey, I gave Lisa my phone. I said, I want to get a picture of me and Aaron Paul just to drive Mason crazy, because Mason's favorite show was Breaking Bad. And so I took it and sent it to Mason just to tick him off. But
just to annoy him? I like that.
Yeah, it's the only time I can remember doing it.
I might do, maybe with like a celebrity if I was at the ESPYs or something in a setting like that. But I've done a few, ESPYs red carpet maybe.
Okay.
But not with like people that I have to cover and stuff. Like that's weird.
I mean, I'll never look at the picture again.
Jerry Seinfeld has a thing where he says when people walk up to him to take a picture, he'll say no, but I'll have a conversation with you.
Yeah, that's
and
cool.
And the people go, well, I don't want a conversation. I want a picture. And he'll say it befuddles them.
Yeah.
But here's the difference between me and Mason. One time we're in what you call fishbowl studio. And so when you walk into ESPNLA, you can see us through the glass.
Right.
So one day, an actress comes through there, and Mason goes, hey, Ireland, who's that girl right there? That actress. I recognize her.
Yeah.
She's somebody. I go, oh, that's Emmanuel Streaky from Entourage. She's really pretty. Mason goes, oh, I got to get a picture for my Instagram. So he doesn't know who she is.
Oh, my God.
But he takes his phone, and he runs out of here to get her to take a picture there. And Dave Singer, who was producing our show at the time, says, well, if he's getting one, I'm getting one.
Oh, my God.
And he runs out there with his phone. And so for a girl like that, I would imagine it's impossible for them to say no, because so many people are running up to us. I try never to bother people with that.
Bobcat.
All right,
if I saw Oprah, I would.
There you go.
I would run after Oprah.
Bergman, if you see Oprah, ask her out.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, she's an heiress. And who's she going to leave her money to,
That's
right?
heiress with a capital H.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that is a good one. All right. We've avoided it long enough. UCLA just laid an egg on Saturday. We'll talk about that coming up. That and more. By the way, Game of Games today. It's my game. I'm not going to win this month, I don't think. I've won. Bergman and I have won every month. Has anyone won a month other than us?
Mason tied with you once?
Yeah.
Did Sedano do okay? He was almost
He's ahead.
Yeah.
He's leading this month, but all of his wins were a little suspicious. All of his wins are when he's... Yeah. Jorge and I both think he's up to something, because all of his wins have been when he's not here.
Yeah.
So next time George comes in, we're gonna let him play.
You guys are terrible.
What? You don't
questioning the legitimacy of George Sedano's wins?
Yes.
In Game of Games?
Yes.
How seriously are we taking ourselves?
For Bergman and I, it's life and death.
It really is. Jorge has a chance to win.
Yeah. All right. But no, Sedano's welcome to play as long as he's here. We got to see the whites of his eyes.
All right.
And that's how he can get back in the game. All right. More coming up next. Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
Hey Rams fans, Travis Rogers here. You have got to get the new ESPNLA app. In fact, let's go down to the locker room and get a little help.
What's up, Rams fans? This is Matthew Stafford. React to the Rams on the new ESPNLA app.
This is Cooper Kupp of the Los Angeles Rams. Listen to all your Rams talk on the ESPNLA app.
You are just one tap away from Rams All Access. Travis and Slee, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. Download it now on the App Store or Google Play.
710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
Money all the time. What I'm thinking. $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
It is Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN. Don't get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. And we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
Mason and Ireland, Momo in for Mace. My guy, Mark Cates, just walked in with a box of Dave's Hot Chicken. This is excellent.
Yeah, it's really good. But we got the mild.
Yeah, this is excellent. Amanda doesn't want us eating it on the air for obvious reasons.
Because we're going to be like, what?
Yeah,
Huh?
But it will be consumed. And look at Funches. You ever see Funches with a bigger smile on his face? It will be consumed in its entirety. Oh, Bergman just walked in with like boxes of food. Oh, this is a good day. Okay. I waited long enough. As people know who listen to the show, I'm a UCLA grad. I was very happy with UCLA's 6-0 start, and then we played at Oregon on Saturday, Momo. Exactly what I was worried about happened. Oh, man, now they're bringing me shakes. This is excellent. UCLA had not had a big road test. They won at Colorado. And Bergman, exactly what I talked about last week. I was worried that if they went on the road into a hostile environment that they might not hold up. The offense was okay. The defense was terrible, and they got boat raced.
The defense was a travesty. They scored on every single possession. It wasn't Oregon did, and it was touchdowns. It wasn't field goals. The very first possession was a field goal. Then it was all touchdowns. UCLA was scoring at will as well. They just were scoring. They were hitting field goals instead of going for the touchdowns. But they had a 4th and 5 on like the 25 and didn't go for it. And they kicked a field goal. And then
here's what I want to know.
Touchdowns versus field goals.
Here's what I want to know. All right. I was watching this. I was at the airport actually in San Francisco flying home, and I kept watching this game. Am I mistaken that this is Chip Kelly's big moment to deliver, like to shove it in Oregon's face? Like this is a homecoming for him. You have the hot team, 6-0. You're going into Eugene. This is the part where you get to show them what they're missing, that you still got it. And they went and did that?
So what happened? Yeah.
How does that happen?
What they did, Dan Lanning, who's the head coach of Oregon, he stole a possession. And that's all it came down to. He stole a possession after they
went really smart onside kick.
Yeah, it was 17-10, an onside kick. And they got the ball back. They went up 24-10, and all of a sudden it changed the entire game. They stole the possession back. Otherwise, it would have been going back and forth and back and forth. So once they got that possession to go up by 14, it was over. UCLA kicked a field goal instead of going for a touchdown, and they were just behind the rest of the way.
So, Greg, you tell me if this is fair criticism. Chip Kelly was brought here because he was kind of an offensive genius when he was the head coach at Oregon. He flamed out in the NFL. He got the keys to the car at UCLA. I think if you're a head coach, particularly on the offensive side of the ball, your team needs to score points, and UCLA does. But you can't completely ignore the defense. And my thought.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded?
Defense looked bad. I don't know if they get into a game now. They still got USC coming up. It's the Pac-12's a mess now because you have one loss USC, one loss Oregon, and one loss UCLA, and then 2 loss Utah. I think that they've probably canceled each other out from making it to the playoff. If one of those teams finishes with 1 loss, can they still get in the playoff?
I don't think any Pac-12 team is getting into the playoff at this point. I think USC needed to have a 0-loss UCLA to play each other, and that was their only chance of getting in. Now, because if you look at the top. You have Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan, Clemson, all right there at the top. And if one of those teams, a 1-loss SEC or Big Ten team, is going to get in over a 1-loss Pac-12 team, there's just no other way around it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I fear the same thing. Okay. Jorge, give me a little music.
Ah!
All right, if you listen to the show,
that was a good Raiders.
You know that the one thing Momo, Bergman, and I have in common is that we're all Raider fans. Mason's all in with the Rams. Momo, Bergman, and I are all in with the Raiders.
I take it all back, Josh McDaniels. I take it all back. Doing a great job.
I got a good rumor.
It's the worst Houston team ever.
I don't care.
I got a good rumor.
Give the ball to Josh Jacobs every time.
Just win, baby. I'm going to regret trading Josh Jacobs to Mason for the rest of my life. I needed a receiver, so I traded Josh Jacobs for Alan Lazard. Ooh. But you want to hear something weird? Since I made the trade, Josh Jacobs has been great for Mason. Mason and I, since the trade, are 8-0 in fantasy football. I'm 4-0, he's 4-0. So he's 8-0, period.
Good.
And he's going to win the league. But here's the rumor. I'm not making this up.
All right.
Okay?
You're scaring me.
No, this could be really good. Magic Johnson is reportedly close to buying part of the Raiders. Mark Davis, I want to make a personal appeal. Dear God, if this rumor is true, Mark Davis, make it happen. Everything Magic Johnson touches turns to gold. Every time this guy gets involved with a business, it goes through the roof. He becomes part owner of the Dodgers. They win the division for 10 years. When he was on the Lakers, we were winning titles all the time when he was part owner of the Lakers. Now that he wants to be part owner of the Raiders, have you seen what happens when Magic buys a Starbucks or a movie theater?
Okay, we're just going to pretend that whole end of his Laker tenure didn't happen. Is that what we're going to do?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
That's 100% what we're going to do.
We're going to, just roll with your confirmation bias. I got it. Okay.
Mark Davis, do it for us. Do it for the loyal silver and black fans. Get Magic Johnson into that room and sell him part of the Raiders. I will come to the Roomba. I will wear a half Lakers, half Raiders jersey. God. Can you think of, come on. Come on. Magic to the Raiders? Come on. Momo. This is what we need. Come on. Get on the bus.
Hold on. Let me just get my best Raiders. You ready? Raiders!
It would be awesome if Magic Johnson buys a and what happens if Mark hits him? It says 5 years down the road you can buy the controlling interest.
Oh.
And Magic is running our team. Come on, Mark Davis, make it happen. Make it happen, man.
I just get goosebumps every time you play the music. It's like an automatic response for me now. Even when they're bad, I get goosebumps.
I'd be so excited. I will be the.
How many touchdowns does Josh Jacob have?
3. 107. We'd be unstoppable with Magic.
I don't care who they played. They won the game. They came back. We got a bye week. Josh Jacobs is awesome.
Exactly. And our trip to the playoffs would just be cemented with Magic at the helm. So I really hope that happens. Right. It's all over the place that is a potential rumor. All right. I'm very surprised at who the first NBA coach rumored to be fired is.
Really?
And it's not who you think. We'll get into that next. We'll also circle back to the Lakers. We've been talking a lot about this 0-3 start. I think blame is being misplaced. I think that people are being scapegoated in the wrong spot. I'll explain coming up. Momo in for Mace. I'm John Ireland. Mason in Ireland, ESPNLA.
17 10 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
Money all the time. What I'm thinking. $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
Hey, Rams fans, Travis Rogers here. You have got to get the new ESPNLA app. In fact, let's go down to the locker room and get a little help.
What's up, Rams fans? This is Matthew Stafford. React to the Rams on the new ESPNLA app.
This is Cooper Kupp of the Los Angeles Rams. Listen to all your Rams talk on the ESPNLA app.
You are just one tap away from Rams All Access. Travis and Slee, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. Download it now on the App Store or Google Play.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or
Mason and Ireland, Momo in for Mace. Momo's going to be busy this week. Are you here every day this week? No, you're not here Wednesday.
Yeah, it's the only day I'm not here.
Okay.
Wednesday.
Because tomorrow I leave on a Laker road trip. Mason's still out tomorrow. Despite the fact that, as usual, he made a huge deal about how when football season started, he was not taking any time off until Thanksgiving. Not so much. But I was surprised when I read this. Do you know who the odds-on favorite on those offshore sportsbooks is to be the first coach fired in the NBA?
Who?
Doc Rivers.
Oh.
Do you buy that? Sixers are 0-3 and they have championship aspirations, but Doc's on the hook for a lot of money.
Well, and Mike D'Antoni's still out there, right? I mean, that's the the Sixers are a really interesting team. I wouldn't say that I think Doc's going to get fired right now. I wouldn't go there. They had a choice in the offseason. There was a lot of rumors about him coming to L.A. and coaching the Lakers. I think that was there was something real to that. I don't know how else to explain it. There was something real to it, but
if they could have got him out of his deal, I think they would.
Yeah, they weren't going to give up any compensation,
Right.
and they had other options, and but he would have made a lot of sense for the Lakers. But they weren't going to give up compensation for Doc Rivers, and the Sixers were fine keeping him too. I think everybody in Philly wants to see.
On paper, I think the Sixers look really good, but I don't, for whatever reason, I don't think it's working.
It's 3 games, and I will say this:
Harden does not look like Harden.
Neither does Embiid.
Yeah.
So what's happening with the Sixers? Can I give you the big overall view? I'll do it real fast. They're sort of trading off. Okay, you have 2 superstars who play very different ways. And you look at Harden and Embiid and you go, God, that would be a great pick and roll combination. But and the stats actually back that up. Like if you look at the stats of the Harden and Embiid pick and roll, it's a pretty good combination. But what does James Harden do well, and what does Joel Embiid do well? Joel Embiid is a really good passer. He's really good on the block. Like when you pass him the ball down low, he can score like Shaq. He's got a nice floater. He's got a nice touch. I wouldn't say pick and roll is really his game. Right? That's James Harden's game. And so what's happening is one possession, the defenses they've been playing, they send 3 guys at Joel Embiid, and they say, okay, we're not going to let that guy beat us. So then he passes the ball up to somebody else, and then James Harden does the Harden thing. And he looks like they're kind of playing the same way they used to in Houston, except for they have this MVP caliber center. Whereas in Houston, they always had like Clint Capella or somebody who was just kind of a rim runner and a dunker.
They need to adjust the system.
Yeah, so it's just sort of like they haven't decided how they're going to play yet. Can Doc fix that? Can you find a happy medium? Is it going to trade off back and forth, or is it going to you're going to have to make a choice between the two? I think we're about 3 months away from deciding that.
Okay.
Was that a good overarching view?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sham Charania, who's broken a lot of stories, a lot of NBA stories, wrote in his column today that the Lakers are interested in both Josh Richardson and Terry Rozier.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not allowed to comment on players who are on other teams, but you can. Do you buy either one of those names as a possibility for the Lakers?
I buy Terry Rozier. That has been out there for a while. Plus, Charlotte's kind of a mess. They're actually 2-1, which is pretty good. But
there are a lot of teams that were supposed to be terrible. Utah, Portland, Charlotte, they all have winning records.
It's just way too early to do anything. I think Woj was on last week saying like 20 games before they decide something. That's generally the quarter mile mark of the NBA season, and that's usually when teams decide, okay, this is working or not working. The Lakers have played 3 games, right? Josh Richardson to me is not the answer. Rozier could help.
He had a pretty good game the other day. Richardson
yeah, but
did.
Look, I know and I don't think you're wrong about their need for shooting, but
yeah.
To me, the number one biggest thing the Lakers need is a point guard not named LeBron James. They have a guy named Dennis Schroeder, but he's hurt. Russell Westbrook, in the way that he plays, is not a point guard right now, not for this team. If you could get somebody like a Terry Rozier, who is not actually your classic point guard either, but would be better than anything they have in this role right now, that would really help. I think that would take a lot of the pressure off AD. They would run their offense differently. There was when they had Rajon Rondo, the Rondo year in 2020. That's why he was so good for them, because he could run an offense. He could set people up. Remember who was the guy they got last year? I can't even remember his name. They brought him in. DJ Augustine.
Yeah,
is that what DJ Augustine?
Yeah,
okay.
He was good.
He was good for them.
Yeah,
and it's not like DJ Augustine is a world beater. He's a good player. He's an NBA player. Okay, but he was just a point guard. Somebody who can organize an offense. Somebody who can run an offense. Terry Rozier's not the classic point guard, but he would be better than what they have. So, okay.
To me, the biggest thing the Lakers need to do is improve their shot selection. We were talking about this at the start of the show. I think blaming Russell Westbrook for this 0-3 start is a tremendous red herring. He is not the reason they're 0-3. He's part of the problem.
Yeah.
But if you look at the Lakers, their three-point shooting is not just bad. It is historically, indescribably bad. They shoot 21% from three.
On 39 threes a game.
And that's the number. To
Can
me,
we go to it another way?
What do you mean?
Instead of saying that we're blaming Russ and Russ is the reason for all this, can't we say that it's more of just there's a solution available by taking him out of the lineup and saying, okay, let's see what we can do with the players that we have? He's not a net gain. He's more of a net loss, if anything. So if at some point, doesn't it just take him out and worry about and try and figure out the rest of it?
No, I don't think I'm there. I'm not there yet, and here's why.
But is that a better way of saying it than blaming Russ? Because we're not always blaming Russ. They're just saying he doesn't fit.
What do you mean nobody's blaming
I think
Russ?
we're just saying that
I get phone calls every day like this.
John, killing me, man. Killing me. Get off of Westbrook Island. Swim
No,
away.
I am not swimming.
Yeah, man.
Greg, if we open the phones right now, everybody would complain about Russ, and they'd say, the Lakers can't win with Russ. Russ is the problem, blah, blah, blah. Ramona just hit the problem. They average 39 threes a game. 39 threes, and they make 21% of them. Guys, you've gotten better every game. Golden State, you weren't going to win. Could have won the Clipper game, should have won the Portland game. Wednesday night in Denver, just try it. Try and shoot like New Orleans is doing, 25 threes instead of 39. They were 5 of 33 yesterday. They were 9 of 45 against the Clippers. Those are just wasted possessions. You're a very good two-point team. LeBron and AD are very hard to stop. Once we had that game up 7 with 2 minutes to go, you don't need the three as a weapon anymore. You don't need to shoot threes just because they're giving them to you. Matter of fact, not only, Ramona, are they giving them to you, they're trying to bait you into taking them.
They're baiting you.
Chauncey Billups said it after the game. Yeah. We put Yusuf Nurkic on Russ and told him, keep 1 foot in the paint and don't go near him if he's at the three-point line. The Lakers are falling into a trap that the other teams are setting.
So I have a couple of rules in poker. Not that I'm the greatest poker player in the world, but I do better than average, I guess.
Right.
When you go all in, you want to be going all in, not calling an all in.
Right.
Like, you want to be doing things on your terms, not the other team's. You want to be shooting the three because you want to shoot the three, not because the other team is daring you to shoot the three.
Yeah. And if your team is constructed the way the Lakers are constructed and you don't have good three-point shooters, Greg, I will stubbornly admit that you're right. You can't have a team that shoots no threes.
Right.
But what's wrong with 5 a quarter instead of 10 a quarter? Okay?
Yeah.
They're averaging 40 threes a game, 39 to be exact.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Cut it in half.
Yeah.
You know, take those other 20 possessions and give the ball to LeBron and AD and see if they can score.
I think part of the issue, though, is that they're getting these wide-open threes because they're packing into the paint,
Correct.
right, Momo? They're packing into the paint, so they're leaving you open on that three, so you can't get into the paint.
Well, also, there's no space.
Right.
Like, it's not just you're open for three. It's that there's no space in the paint, which is why Anthony Davis is not getting enough shots, which is why when LeBron drives and kicks, there's 3 guys in there for
And
him.
if you know you can't shoot threes, you're going to just stick guys right around that paint and stop that from you. So you're taking away the middle that you want to get into by leaving open the outside, and the outside is just not falling.
But here's the thing. No one can guard AD or LeBron one-on-one. So it's where you position the other guys on the court.
Just because putting Nurkic on Westbrook because he knows he's not a threat in any way.
Westbrook can stand out on the three-point line all day long. No one's going to go out there with him. He's not drawing a defender. There's no, in the business they like to say shooters create gravity. You create a gravitational force. It brings people towards them.
And Greg, what you can do if you're Westbrook, if you're off the ball, you can run into the paint, set screens, and roll to the basket.
That's all they're asking him to do.
He's never done that before in his career.
Right.
But time to start.
Well, great. Absolutely. But, I mean, he just has never done it and has never shown the ability to want to do it.
But that is what he and Darvin Ham talked about all summer long.
Right.
They talked about that all summer long.
Yeah, it just seems to me that shot selection to me, you said the number one thing is get a point guard other than LeBron. Other people would say the number one problem is Westbrook, like Travis. I would say the number one problem is shot selection. You got to be smarter. You can't shoot 43s a game with this roster.
I will say that I also think Darvin is correct last night when he was saying they're actually playing pretty well.
They've gotten better every game.
Their defense is
good.
good.
Their defense is good. I was just going to say.
And they've fallen behind in each of these games, and they fought back and even the score up and actually took the lead yesterday. They're up by
Ramona, they
8
had
points.
The game.
The game was over.
They were up 7 with 2 minutes to go, and then they just botched it. But, I mean, you got to give a new coach a little bit of growing pains to get through. I think Darvin's going to be good, but I think we got to be smarter and not shoot 43s. Let's see what happens on Wednesday. Every time we shoot a 3, I say to myself, they could have taken that to the basket. And Darvin said that, at the end of the game yesterday. Here he was when he was asked, are you okay with those 2 shots Russ took at the end?
They were both open shots, but is that score in time? Are you okay with that, with those decisions?
Yeah, the second one, I just wish he'd attacked the rim. Pat tried to set a little screen. Nurkic was in front of him, kind of back. In those moments, if you're going to go 2 for 1, I think it has to be either you going downhill to attack the rim or you going downhill for a draw and kick. I felt like we settled on that. And, you can make the debate to call the time out there or not. I'd rather not, and because again the 2 for 1 was at our advantage. But just the shot selection is something we have to work on, something that we have to get better at as we move forward, and understanding time and score and where you want to attack in those type of situations.
The last thing he said is the whole ball game.
Yep.
Time and score with a 7-point lead and 2 minutes to go. You don't need to shoot any threes.
Yep.
You just don't. Run clock, make them defend LeBron and AD, and don't shoot early in the shot clock 3-pointers that you haven't made all day. It doesn't make any sense. But they get another crack at it 2 nights from now in Denver. I'm with you. I actually think that they've done some really good things, and in particular defensively. They're number 1 in defensive efficiency. They're just dead last, 30 in offensive efficiency, so it doesn't work. All right, we haven't talked any baseball yet. The World Series is set, and one scout has a theory about the Dodgers that I think I agree with, and I'll throw it at you next. Game of Games coming up in about 20 minutes. Mason and Ireland. Momo in for Mason.
710 ESPN, the OGs of LA Sports Radio. We're here each weekday, 1 to 4 p.m. for your afternoon. Sandwich between Travis and Sliwa and Sedano and Cap. Mason and Ireland continues now.
Okay, we've talked a lot today about the Lakers. We haven't talked at all about the Dodgers. The World Series is set. Kind of an anticlimactic championship series on both sides. Yeah. The Astros swept the Yankees. The Padres only won one game against the Phillies, so it's Phillies at Astros starting on Friday. But the LA Times did a deep dive on what happened to the Dodgers that ran over the weekend. And Jack Harris, who was a beat writer for the Times, did it, and he quotes in the story a rival National League scout, didn't want to give his name. Here's what he said about this year's Dodger team, who won 111 games, best regular season team the Dodgers have ever had, and then completely laid an egg in the playoffs when they played the Padres in a best-of-5 series. They lost 3-1, and really after the third inning of the first game, they didn't hit. They hit for
at all.
3 innings. So here's what the guy wrote. Quote, I was shocked at how boring they were as a team. It's a very professional team. It's a very good team. But I'd like to see a little more emotion. End quote. I agree with that, Scout.
Me too.
There's a famous story about the 88 Dodgers that in spring training, Jesse Orozco, who was a relief pitcher, put eye black around Kurt Gibson's hat. Okay? So Gibson picked up his hat, put his hat on, and there's a big black ring around his head. And Gibson went into the locker room and tried to punch Orozco and grabbed him and said, look. And he yelled to the whole room. He goes, let me tell you, MF, or something.
Yep.
I'm here to win a world championship. I'm not here to F around. And I'm here to start now. Everything we do has got to be towards winning the whole thing. And if you don't think we can win the whole thing, then get the F out. And he brought this intensity with him that not only I'm not going to mess around, I'm going to play 100 miles an hour all the time, and I'm not putting up with any BS. Mm-hmm. He won the National League MVP that year.
Yep.
And I'm not so sure, Ramona, that the Dodgers aren't too businesslike, too professional, too buttoned up. I think they could benefit from a Kirk Gibson. Their emotion is part of the postseason. It's a different animal. Like they were a great regular season team. And I don't fault Andrew Friedman for coming out and saying, I'm not firing the coaches. I'm not firing Dave Roberts. We're not going to make a ton of changes. But I actually think somebody who plays with a lot of emotion who would fire these guys up wouldn't be a bad thing. What do you think?
I don't think I would call it emotion. I would call it, I don't want to say culture. What they need is somebody who's really hungry that everyone wants to. Like, I just got back from covering the Warriors, and the Warriors have now won 4 titles. But the same core group is the one that has been there for all 4 of those titles. And if you were around the Warriors last year versus this year, the number one biggest difference is last year they were hungry. They had a chip on their shoulder. They had been down in the dumps for 2 years. They had to figure out how to rally themselves and get back to the top of the mountain. There was a cause and a purpose and a camaraderie that happened.
But let me use your example to talk about what the Dodgers could use. The Dodgers don't have a Draymond.
No.
They don't.
They don't have a Draymond. They don't have somebody who hasn't won before.
Greg, they don't have somebody that plays on tilt like Draymond does, like Kobe used to. If you're a great player, it helps if you play on tilt. And the Dodgers don't have that. Do you buy that argument?
So I'm going to be completely honest with you. When I read that article, it's the stupidest article I've ever read. No offense, Jack Harris, but it was
not
bad.
Stupid.
It's not. It has nothing to do with that. It's not about emotion. You had it right, Momo. You had it with. It's culture. It's a culture thing. Nobody was saying that when the Patriots were winning 7 championships. They were the exact same way.
But
you know what? It was a workmanlike attitude.
Brady plays on tilt. He
plays with emotion. There's guys like Alex Vessia that play with emotion. There's guys like there's the pitchers that play with emotion. Julio Urias plays with emotion. I just don't believe that because they didn't win it that we're going to start blaming.
Part of what it is though is that
emotion.
Like the Warriors, I was up there and they canceled practice and they canceled shoot around, and there's this sense of like the biggest challenge for them is not getting hurt and just being healthy at the right time of the year. Same thing with the Dodgers. Like, how do you make yourself play the best baseball at the right time of the year? Well, a lot of it is when you have something to play for, that people are hungry, that they need to win. These guys just won in 2020. And they lost last year. They didn't get it done. They lost now this year. I bet next year they come back with a whole new, fresh motivation. And even if you look at the stars on this team, Freddie Freeman won last year.
Right.
Mookie Betts won in 2020. Trey Turner won in 2019.
Right, but all those teams have examples of what we're talking about.
Right.
Guys who played on tilt. Who on the Dodgers plays on tilt? And, Greg, I think that's a fair point about the pitchers.
Yeah, Julio Urias does.
Kershaw's got a dog in him. But those guys...
Bueller did.
Yeah, but those guys only pitch once every 5 games. I wouldn't...
JT?
Nah, I don't see it. I wouldn't mind seeing somebody get into, like somebody that lays into you if you have a 3-game losing streak.
Look at the Phillies. Like, Bryce Harper needs to win a title. He just needs to win. Like, he left the Nationals and then they win the year after he leaves. I mean, there's a sort of something to prove that they didn't have this year. I mean, all they had to do was just prove that the 111 wins wasn't a fluke, but that's not really a rallying cry. Like, you need people who have not won, that need that for their career. That
Greg, you wouldn't change, like, coming back next year, you wouldn't change anything about locker room makeup in that regard?
No, I think the locker room is fine. They're going to bring other guys in. Like, whether they bring in, I mean, they're looking at Aaron Judge. Is Aaron Judge that guy that's playing on tilt?
No.
I mean,
the guy that plays on tilt for the Yankees is Harrison Bader.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, they got guys that do those types of things, but I mean, I just don't think name me the big hit that they got in the playoffs this year. If you can find one, great, because that's when the emotion comes out.
Well, like the guys who had done that in years past, Cody Bellinger, Chris Taylor,
Kike
Hernandez,
sure,
Justin Turner. Those are the guys who I think
Max Muncy hitting a big home run.
Max Muncy, but there is a. What's hard about baseball is so much of baseball is the long game. It's never get too high, never get too low. It's the people who can keep their wits about them the longest,
right?
And who don't get too high or too low that do well over the course of the regular season. The opposite is true in the postseason. You got to be able to fire it up.
You got to be able to fire up. You're absolutely right, but you need to have a big hit, like a big 3-run home run to take the lead or whatever happens to be. And everybody's going crazy, and then you're going to start seeing all that emotion. They didn't get that hit. They would have bases loaded and down by 2, and they wouldn't bring anybody around. They couldn't get that big hit to get the emotion starting to flow. So if they actually got that hit, then yes, you would have seen the emotion that Jack Harris is talking about. I just think it's ridiculous. They just didn't get big hits.
Yeah, that's for sure. You can't argue that. All right, coming up next, Game of Games, and George Sedano is here. He is in studio.
And I'm going to kick all your asses for your allegations.
Okay, George, this is what I was accused of during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And so then I had to come in here and do exactly what you just said you were going to do. Mop it all up in person. So Sedano is on tilt. That's what I'm talking about. When he plays Game of Games next,
I tried, George. I tried to defend you.
And he's going to be on tilt.
Hold on. Let's not forget the fact that I've only played one of the games of Game of Games this month at home, and it was the one I did the Hail Mary with Bergman on Morgan Freeman.
All right, let's find out. Can Sedano keep it up? He has the lead this month in Game of Games, and he'll play with us next. Football fans, want to win $100 for picking 5 games against the spread? Just download the Cover 5 app for free. Compete with Mason and me each week for a chance to win $100. Here's what you need to do. Download the Cover 5 app. Use code MI22 to join our show league, and then start having fun all season long. Just download the Cover 5 app. Use code MI22 to join the Mason and Ireland Show League. Pick 5 games against the spread to win $100 or play all season long at cover5.com.
710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
Money all the time. What I'm thinking.
$1 Million Mondays. $1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
Game of Games presented by CallJacob.com.
Call Jacob.
Everyone loves a fighter, but in this town, winning matters, especially after an accident. So remember, anyone can fight, but CallJacob.com is here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to CallJacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. We got the jingle.
Call Jacob.
Thank you. Game of Games time. Take it away, Mace.
All right, no Mace today. Momo in for him. But
wait, where is he, by the way?
Seriously.
Well, this is after he made an on-air proclamation at the start of the football season. I will not take a day off until Thanksgiving.
Right. I was here for it.
Yeah. I'm busy. You're busy. You're busy. What's going on?
Look, John and I have whatever it is, 5-6 weeks of vacation time. And then we probably have like another 15 to 20 where we literally can't physically be here because we're at a game or something.
Right.
What is his excuse?
There is one.
He's on a bye week like the Rams?
Yep, that was it. And USC. He said he saw USC and the Rams, and then it went off and it said, Mason looks at each day as, how can I take this day off? And I'm not sure he's not the smart one. You and I work
I know. What are we doing with our lives?
Yeah.
Well, I look at George, and Sedano is where I was. Like, George, how old are you?
I just turned 45.
Okay, so you are. I just turned 59. So you're like 15 years behind me on the run. And George's doing all the things I was doing when I was 45.
Right, every game possible.
Right. I would not say no.
Yeah.
Like, whatever you want to do. And
I actually was supposed to do the UCLA game this coming week, but I have a conflict with NBA, and I didn't want to.
Right.
Tell one, hey, I'm going to leave to go do the other. It just would have been weird. Yeah. But to your point, yes, I say yes to everything.
The problem with that is then you realize, I don't have any time left.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I'm either on a plane. It's like do a show, get on a plane, work a game, lather, rinse, repeat.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm flying to Memphis early next month. To do well. First of all, there's no directs, which is miserable. I was on the phone with Bergman talking about this last week, and I set up Bergman.
There used to be a direct.
Yep. There's only one Delta.
Yeah.
6:45 at night though.
I do that.
Doesn't help me.
Yeah.
Because of the radio show.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So Bergman's I got Bergman connected with some people in Memphis to get me a studio.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Call my guy Gary Parrish out there.
Hold on. Greg is directing me. Move to the left, he says.
Yes. Move to the left. Keep going.
Chris Vernon is your guy. He'll help you out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Chris Vernon.
Well, he's not there anymore.
We need you on the YouTube,
He's at the Ringer.
George.
Yeah, but, so he doesn't do a show anymore.
No, he just does the Ringer now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, big news.
But, Gary Parrish, the college basketball guy, he works at that
Memphis
station.
guy.
Yeah.
The GM of the Grizzlies is an old Laker intern. If you get real fixed, we'll make him play.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Zach.
That's
He's a great
funny.
guy. All right, here we go. As I mentioned, the World Series is coming up.
Yeah.
So I have a quiz about the Fall Classic.
Okay.
This is Jorge, Greg, Ramona, and Sedano.
Yeah.
Sedano leads this month with 4.
Right.
He is the leader in the clubhouse, and you've been accused.
Under investigation, apparently.
Yeah. You've been
Allegations.
accused.
Unlike the Astros.
I was accused of this for years, George, primarily by Bergman,
Yeah.
and so my
Well, he
only
cheated.
recourse was to come in and kick his ass regularly in person, which I've done now for 2 years.
So go like
Although
this
I
if
won
you
like
know the
3 the
answer.
last
Yeah.
All right, here we go. He's playing Google Sounds.
Yeah.
All right. I have a quiz about the Fall Classic. Some of these are true or false.
Yeah.
Others are multiple choice. Here we go.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Number 1. Jorge, you go first.
Are these the true and false, or are these the multiple?
This one happens to be true and false.
Okay.
All right. Jorge, true or false? Astros manager Dusty Baker, who has managed almost 4,000 career games with 5 different teams, has never managed a World Series game. This will be his first one coming up Friday. True or false?
Straight swag. False.
Okay. Greg.
False.
Momo.
True.
Sedano.
False. He managed with the Giants.
Correct. 2002 with the Giants. And
Remember they picked up his kid?
last year.
Right.
Last
well,
year,
that's
right?
Last year.
Yeah.
The
All right,
Astros.
so, all right, Momo missed that. Everybody else got it.
I was
All
just
right.
going against the grain.
That's swag.
All right, Bergman.
Yeah.
Which team was the first ever World Series game winner played indoors? All right, so won a World Series game played indoors. Is it A, the Blue Jays, B, the Twins, or C, the Diamondbacks?
Ooh.
Blue Jays, Twins, or Diamondbacks?
Game winner indoors.
Won the first World Series game ever played indoors.
Indoors. Okay. Got it.
Indoors.
Yeah.
We are
Blue
going to go.
Jays, Twins, or Diamondbacks?
Say the Diamondbacks.
Okay, Ramona.
Twins.
Sedano.
Twins.
Briones.
Twins.
Twins is the answer,
Yeah.
and so now
Jack Morris.
it is
Turn
right.
bucket. Yeah.
It is Briones 2, Sedano 2, Bergman and Ramona.
Bergman, how old
1
were you in
each.
1991?
I was
Not old enough.
8.
Yeah.
Yeah, should have known that.
Yeah.
Plus 5.
Okay.
Yeah, but you just answered after us.
Yeah, you just had the conviction.
Yeah, George, you give it away. Come on
Ramona,
now.
you go first on this
All right.
one. The Yankees have the most World Series titles with 27. Which team is second on that list?
Okay.
Is it A, the Cardinals, B, the Dodgers, or C, the A's? Cardinals, Dodgers, or A's? Who's second in most World Series titles won?
Cardinals.
Okay, Sedano. Cardinals, Dodgers, or A's?
I'm going to say A's.
Okay. Jorge.
Cardinals.
Greg.
Yeah, it's either the Cardinals or the Dodgers. I'm saying Cardinals.
Cardinals is the correct answer, so now it's
See, I was
really
going
Trying
like-
so
I was going-
hard not to give it away.
I was going Philadelphia A's there. Connie
Yeah,
Mack.
Not crazy. There. By the way, the A's are third.
Yeah.
The Cardinals have 11.
Yeah, they have a
Yankees
lot.
27. Cardinals 11. All right. Sedano, you go first on this one.
Yeah.
Which player has hit the most home runs in the World Series all time? Is it A, Babe Ruth, B, Reggie Jackson, or C, Mickey Mantle? Babe Ruth, Reggie Jackson, or Mickey Mantle?
Oh, man. It's clearly a Yankee.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Mickey Mantle.
Okay, Briones.
I'll go Ruth.
Bergman.
Jackson.
Going Reggie, Ramona.
Everyone's picked somebody different, so.
Mantle.
The correct answer is Mickey Mantle, and we got a three-way tie at the top.
I should have gone Cardinals. It was the obvious answer.
Briones,
I tried to go against the grain.
Ramona,
That's me too. That's what I did too. I was trying
and
to get it.
Sedano, all with
Why
3.
is he asking this question?
Bergman with 2. Okay, so it's close. Anybody can win it. All right, true or false?
All right.
Former Dodger Chase Utley
Yes.
has only appeared in 15 World Series games, but he has 7 home runs in those 15 games. That's more World Series homers than Johnny Bench or Roger Maris. True or false, Briones?
False.
Bergman.
True.
Ramona.
True.
Sedano.
True.
It is true. Chase Utley has 7 home runs in 15
he was awesome when the
World
Phillies were there.
Series games.
Yeah. And Johnny Bench back then, they weren't hitting home runs like that. So.
All right, 2 more questions. I got a tiebreaker if I need
Let's
it
go.
right now. Briones 3. Bergman 3. Ramona 4, Sedano 4. It's close. All right.
That was very play-by-play of you.
It was.
Sedano's going to talk so much smack if he wins.
Exactly.
Schmack.
All right.
Sedano schmack.
What was David Ortiz's batting average in the 2013 World Series? Was it A, 488, B, 588, or C, 688? 488, 588, or 688, Momo?
588.
Okay, Sedano.
588.
Briones.
488 or
Bergman.
Do I need to catch up here or there's one more?
Yes. You need to. Well, you have one more, but you're one behind.
Then I will go 488.
You should have gone 688. Can you believe that?
Wow.
70% almost.
He hit 688 in the World
crazy.
Series.
Wow.
Kind of crazy. All right. So now the story is Ramona and Sedano with 4, you two guys in 3. I'll make them go first.
Wow.
Here we go. Which one of these teams has never appeared in a World Series? Is it A, the Mariners, B, the Brewers, or C, the Rockies? Sedano, Mariners, Brewers, or Rockies?
Mariners.
Momo.
Mariners.
Briones.
Mariners.
Bergman.
It's not fair. It's the Mariners, but I need to get a point here, so
Yeah.
I'll just say
Yeah,
one of
you're
the
right.
other
Mariners,
ones.
believe it or not, are the only team in all of Major League
Yeah.
Baseball
Yeah,
that has
the
never
Nationals.
appeared
I remember
in
when the
World
Rockies
Series.
were in it.
All right, that means Briones, out. Bergman, out. Ramona.
Come on, Momo.
Let's
It's
go.
you
Stand
and
up.
Sedano in a tiebreaker.
Get the Momo dance.
Let's go.
The Momo
Let's
dance.
Go.
All right. Ramona's up. This would be an in-your-face win by Sedano, who is accused and now would be victorious in person.
George is my guy, though, too. Like,
All right, here
I
we
won't
go.
be mad if you win, but I'm competitive.
Here's the question. Sedano, you're going first. In what year was the first World Series played? I'll give you a hint. It was between 1850 and 1950. Okay? Closest one gets it.
Closest without going over, or just closest?
Closest gets it. In what year was the first World Series played? George, it's a year between 1850 and 1950. Give me a shot.
1890.
Okay. Momo, you either got to go 1889 or 1891.
1891.
The correct answer. 1903, Ramona.
Momo!
Very good guess.
Good
I
guess.
think. By the way,
thought it was
I
like
think this
1906.
acquits Sedano of what he's been.
Well, by the
accused
way,
of.
the reason I thought that is because on SportsCenter last night, they had the 4 stretches where the Yankees have gone 10-plus years without being in a World
Yeah,
Series.
they've gotten 13 now.
And the first one was their first 13 years of 1890 to 1903. So 1890 was in my head because
There
of
you
that.
go. All right, Gaming Games is powered by Call Jacob. Winning matters. That's why after an accident, you got to go to calljacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. Jorge, hit the stager.
KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM, Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk.
Are we ready for Sedano and Cap to join Mason in Ireland?
Super Crosstalk begins. Super Crosstalk, presented by Coors Light. Coors Light, made to chill.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
All right, it's time. Scott Kaplan joins the show. Cappy, not a good weekend for your Padres.
No, it wasn't. But I know yesterday it made me feel kind of good when I saw the Seahawks rip apart the Chargers, so that made me kind of feel a little better.
All right, I have
I have a question for you.
Yeah, but can I get to something before you get to your question? Because I have something for you. I'm thinking about starting a merchandise line.
Nice.
And if I do, I'm going to need you to share in the profits with one George Sedano.
Why is that?
Because I think you've come up with something that's brilliant.
What's that?
So on the sweatshirts, on the hats, I'm just going to have 4 letters. DWAP. DWAP.
Yeah.
Do you know what that stands for?
Down with something? I don't
No.
know.
You
What?
have stumbled into a brilliant merchandising opportunity.
Okay.
Because it perfectly suits me,
Yeah.
to a lesser degree you,
Yeah.
and definitely Cap.
Yeah.
DWAP.
So
D-W-A-P. Bergman, you know where I'm going?
No, I'm trying to
Jorge,
figure.
you know where I'm going?
I do not.
Isn't there is it a Nicki
It's something
Minaj
Sedano
song?
said on the show last week that is a perfect description for me in particular, but really all of us.
What?
Dork with a platform.
Oh yeah.
With a platform.
Yeah, because we were talking about Clinton.
Yeah.
Clinton was saying that the communities aren't cool anymore.
Right.
And I'm like, who made him the arbiter of cool? We're all dorks with a platform.
the president of the Handsome Man Club.
So if it ever goes anywhere, I will share in the profits.
Okay,
with
fair
you.
enough. There you
Dwap.
go.
Cappy's
Does that describe me perfectly?
Cappy's going to beat us to it. He's already putting it on his merch site
Well,
right now.
Cappy right now has got a Sharpie out and
Right.
he's writing it on a
Right.
hat.
What I'm about to do is I'm about to send an email to my designer and say, hey, listen, here's the 4 letters.
Yeah.
Here's what it means.
Yeah.
And this time, by the way, make sure you put John, you tell me, do you want a Mason and Ireland logo to be visible on this?
No, I want 4 letters. DWAP.
Yeah, just DWAP. You don't
Just
need to
4
have the
letters.
logo on it.
Just 4 letters. You
That's
don't want
the
website?
website.
If you create this,
Yeah.
you are going to update your Twitter bio.
Yeah. And just write
With a
DWAP.
link.
Founder of DWAP.
John Ireland.
Yes.
DWAP. Yeah.
And then when people ask you what DWAP means, you're going to say, if you know,
You know.
Yeah.
Well, this is like,
right.
do you remember there was a movie with Roy Scheider? I think it was called Blue Thunder, where he was
Yes.
a helicopter
Yes.
pilot.
Yeah. There was a TV show first and then a movie.
Okay,
Yes.
and they gave the young guy he was training a hat
Yeah.
that said Jaffo,
Yeah.
J-A-F-O, and that became his nickname.
Yeah.
And because this guy was flying around the helicopter,
Right.
he didn't understand why they were calling him Jaffo. But he rolled with it. He thought it was kind of nice. That
I
everybody-
believe it stood for just another freaking operator or
observer.
Observer.
Because
That's what it was.
he wasn't doing anything. He
Right,
was just
right.
flying the plane around, just
Yeah.
another effing observer.
Yeah.
When I was in college, we walked in, and we had this guy who would do this all the time. And so we nicknamed him Moto.
Yeah.
M-O-T-O. Like, nobody knows. His name was
Yeah.
Jim.
Yeah.
Nobody called that guy Jim.
Just
Everybody
Moto.
called him Moto.
Yeah.
And it's because he was the type of guy that would walk in, and let's say all of us are around a
Yeah.
poker table, and he'd walk in and go, "You guys playing cards?"
Yeah.
And so we looked at him and we went, "Moto."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Moto, what's happening? Just roll with it." Moto
Yeah.
goes, "Okay." And for the next 5 years, "Hey, Moto, what's up, man?" Blah, blah, blah. Moto stands for Master of the Obvious.
Oh, I like that.
Because he would just walk in all the time like, "Hey, Lindsay, you producing the show today?" And she just walked in and
Right.
handed
Yes.
you a rundown.
Yes.
Moto.
Moto.
Right there.
There you go.
Boom.
That
So
Cappy's a little moto. I got to be honest
Yeah,
with
he
you.
is.
Yeah,
But
but
that's
I-
why we like him.
Cap, I am too. I'm a little Moto.
So here's my question to you. It just got announced by Andrew Marchand of the New York Post that Jim Nance will call his last Final Four this March, and Ian Eagle will succeed him, which is awesome.
Yep.
For both guys, right? Like
Yep.
Jim Nance done it forever. Ian Eagle is incredible. John, I will ask you because you call games.
Yep.
Outside of the Lakers, because we know that's your dream job. If
Yep.
there's one event that you would want to be part of the broadcast, what event would that be? Any event in the world in sports. Because I feel like I know the one that you would pick, or maybe I'd be wrong, but I have a good guess, I feel like.
It would be something off the beaten path. Like it would be like a lot of people have called Super Bowls. A lot of people have called World Series.
Right.
I've called NBA Finals. It would probably be Sunday at the Masters.
I was just going to say the Masters for sure would be yours.
Yeah, it would probably be Sunday at the Masters. I think that would be really
Momo,
fun.
if you could be part of one broadcast in any sporting
Broadcast or cover it? 'Cause it's
no,
different.
be part of the broadcast. Like you'd be the reporter on
Yeah.
X broadcast. And whether it's a Super Bowl,
Yeah.
an NBA Finals, a Masters, an Olympics, and if you did Olympics, it'd be like we'd need like an event. But like,
I honestly think Olympics.
Yeah.
I think for me, Olympics where like I'm a reporter there.
The
or
assignment
I'm
would
an
be that.
assignment.
Well,
Yeah.
now
Like,
the
on the
Olympic
sidelines.
gold medal basketball game will actually be close.
Yeah,
like
pretty
the
good.
Americans have dominated forever, but if you look at the league now, I mean, there's so many great international stars.
To me, the kind of bucket list things for me as a reporter that I've never gotten to cover are the Olympics and the World Cup. I've never done the Olympics, so maybe when the Olympics come to LA, be part of that
2028.
broadcast. 2028.
yeah, you
It's
think
only 6
ESPN will
years
loan
from
us
now.
out? to NBC.
Got to start working on that now.
Yeah. Mason does that all the time. He's
Yeah.
worked like 8 Olympics.
Yeah, but he's different. He's
not on TV though.
Yeah,
Momo and I are on TV. That's a lot different.
Yeah.
Hey guys, it looks like the DWAP T-shirts are already going to be a big hit. I've
Okay.
already got them designed.
Great.
Excellent.
I'm going to put them into my merch shop here coming up shortly.
Beautiful.
Hey, Moto,
You
what
notice how
would be your?
You notice how he just slipped how he's going to put it into his. merch shop?
My merch
like,
shop.
Like, have you not learned that Cap takes all the good ideas and sells them himself?
You know what that is? Smart.
Yeah. So Moto, what would you be, Cappy? What would you? What
Well-
is the event?
Well, this one, I hate to say it, but this is going to turn me into a moto right now. I've never called a Super Bowl or been part of the broadcast for a Super Bowl. And what would always piss me off is every year I'd get to the divisional round of the playoffs, I'd call the wild card, then I'd call the divisional round, and then when they'd get to the AFC and NFC championship games, that was
See
the
you
end
later.
of me.
Yeah,
that was right. I was done.
I know.
So
I know the feeling. On the NBA.
Right. So So believe it or not, I mean, it sounds rather obvious, but I would really, really like to be on the field doing the field, reporting and commentary from the Super Bowl. And then my second one would be, I probably would like to be part of the broadcast of like the Triple Crown or
there
the
you
Breeders' Cup.
Yeah.
You know,
Isn't the Breeders' Cup at Del Mar this year?
No, I think it's
or is it Santa Anita?
Well, I think it's at Santa Anita.
Yeah.
Would be my best guess because it was most recently at Del Mar. So,
Oh.
yeah. But
Now-
yeah, I mean, like when I see a guy like Bob Costas or Mike Tirico on those broadcasts, I understand why they are there.
Yeah.
But I also know they don't know anything about horse racing.
Oh.
So I'm like, I would love to be able to be there for the event and be on the telecast for it.
So for me, it would be Momo's got there's 1 and 1A. So one would be, and this is specific, the late night host of the Olympics.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's
Jim
good.
Lampley did that
used
for
to do
years.
that forever because I am the type of person that late at night I am watching the Olympics. I'm
Me
watching
too.
all these random sports. I'm not, everybody watches in the winter the figure skating or the gymnastics or whatever in the track and field. No, I want like judo, right? Like in the middle of the night, right?
that's cool.
Or like
you
synchronized swimming.
You brought up Costas, and Costas got kind of put back in the rotation to do baseball games this year. And I always loved listening to Costas. I learn a lot. I think he's a great announcer.
Yeah.
Blah blah. Listen to Mike Francesa, what he says about Costas.
Costas, who will not be quiet no matter what. Listen, Costas has just, I don't know, he thinks that I guess every word is golden because he just will not shut up. Everything's a history lesson. We don't need a history lesson every 2 seconds. Okay? Everybody's a Yankee fan. They have Yankee history. They understand Yankee history. They know it backwards and forwards. This is not a history class. It's a baseball game. Be quiet. Do the game. He's driving everybody crazy. He must have said 1,000 times, the Yankee home runs. We know the Yankees have doubled their home runs this year. We know the Indians hit 127 homers and the Yankees hit 254. We know that. Everybody knows it. Make the point once, not 4,000 times. But be that as it may.
All right.
By the way, now you know why he's such a he's such a crank. He's not on radio anymore for the most part.
I like Mason agrees with Francesa. What do you guys think? But did Costas talk too much?
I disagree. Now I didn't watch the entire game, but
he did not this round, but the
right,
previous
yeah.
round.
I didn't watch the entire games that he did, but I came in and out, and I think that's the point: is that people come in and out of broadcast, and look. Far be it from me to criticize Bob Costas on how to do any sports broadcast. No offense, Mike Francesa. I know you had your stint on college football on CBS many years ago, but relax there, pal.
Yeah, I'm
Slow
with you.
your roll.
I'm with you. Momo, does Costas bug you?
No, I think there's very few broadcasters who are event broadcasters. Like, I am listening to hear what that guy says.
Yeah.
And, like, when I tune into Amazon now, it's like Al Michaels.
Yeah.
I want to hear what Al Michaels is saying.
Yeah.
Right.
And so there's a quality
Just
of...
him being there makes the game
yeah,
bigger.
it makes the
Correct.
game feel bigger. And so when you go get Bob Costas, like, people want to hear Bob Costas. Like, he's probably
Especially
getting paid
baseball.
millions of dollars to be on this.
Because baseball, the audience already skews like 55
Yeah.
plus anyway.
Yeah.
So they're all familiar with him for the most part. And Francesa's such a crank, man.
Cap, what do you think? Are you tired of Costas?
I got to be honest with you guys. I really did not watch much of that series, and the only thing I saw Costas even do was the House of the Dragon promo, which I knew he was very annoyed.
Yeah,
at.
you could tell he was annoyed by it.
But I will just say I don't have this this love affair with Bob Costas, like I know so many other sports fans do. And by the way, I have had for so many other announcers. I mean, Momo, you just mentioned Al Michaels. Al Michaels is to me, I mean, whatever he says, I want to listen to. And George, this whole conversation started with you mentioning Jim Nantz. Now, look, I'm biased in all of this, but Jim Nantz, I love Jim Nantz.
See, he's not that guy for me.
See, I'm actually shocked that Jim is giving up the NCAA tournament. I'm happy as can be for Iron Eagle, but
great dude.
I mean, really great guy.
And by the way, Noah, his son is coming.
He's a star already.
Is coming.
He's a star.
They're gonna be Joe and Jack Buck. Like after Ian is run, like Noah might like walk right into that.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
By the way, my second thing, 1A. Breakfast at Wimbledon, but just that.
That's pretty cool.
Just that just that day. Just the breakfast at Wimbledon day.
I understand that. Now, wait a second. So I gave you the Super Bowl, and I give you, like, Breeders' Cup or the Triple Crown. But I'll tell you guys, like, you talk about way off the beaten path here, and I wonder if everybody has one of these. Way off the beaten path. I would like to be the broadcaster for the Ironman in Hawaii.
Well, you did one, though.
Yeah, I did one as an athlete. I would like to be the announcer for it.
No, but that's my point, is that you're familiar with it.
Yeah, right. Well, so that's just it.
I can't believe you did it. You finished an Ironman, Cap?
That's correct.
Okay, so I was in 1 year, and they still do this.
Yeah.
They do a thing called the Malibu Triathlon. And what it is it's cheating.
Yeah.
It would be, the three of us would be like the ESPNLA team.
Yeah, sure.
So
somebody runs, somebody
One of
runs.
us would swim,
Yeah.
one of us would bike, and one of us run. I was the swimmer, so I was the first guy.
Right.
And how long's a swim?
A mile. And isn't a regular triathlon 3 miles?
No. I mean, an Ironman, the swim is like 2.6 miles.
Yeah, so this was a mile.
2.4 miles.
So I did my mile, and I got out, and I tagged somebody, and he hopped on the bike, and he rode off. And I have great admiration for anybody who can even finish one of those things. So good for you, Cap.
Yeah.
Did you hit the time you were going for? Or
I had no time goal of any sort.
You just
other
wanted
than
to
finish. Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, the year before, I had stood at the finish line, and the last person was on the course, and the maximum is 17 hours. So it was about 16 hours and 55 minutes. And the crowd is going crazy because it's almost midnight.
And you did the one in Hawaii?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the crowd's going nuts. And the announcer, the actual, like, stage announcer, is a guy by the name of Mike Riley. And he's telling everybody, this person just came in. They're from L.A. You're an Ironman. Okay. This person just finished, and they're from Denver, Colorado. You're an Ironman. And Mike Riley says to the crowd, and the crowd is losing it because I'm telling you, it's, like, packed, jam-packed. There's one guy left on the course, one guy. And now it's 16 hours and 58 minutes. He's got 2 minutes to finish. And this guy was on, like, NBC's The Biggest Loser. He was some, like, collegiate wrestler.
Right.
And so they're bringing him home, right? And the crowd is roaring. And now the clock hits 17 hours. And when the guy finishes the race at about 17 hours and 30 seconds, Mike Riley says to him, congratulations, Steven, you just finished. But what he didn't say is, you are an Ironman, because he did not finish the race in the 17 hours permitted.
Yes. I didn't know that.
Wow.
So there used to be, you probably know this guy, Cap. There used to be a guy in San Diego when I was a TV reporter down there named Bob Babbitt.
I know him very well.
Okay, so.
And Hacksaw.
You tell me, Escondido. So Babbitt comes out. He was the big Ironman guy, triathlon guy. He did a lot of, and you know him, Cap. He's like.
And by the way, Jim Lampley, who you guys mentioned earlier, Jim Lampley with ABC's Wide World of Sports put the Ironman on the map.
Oh, wow. Full circle. All right, so Babbitt tells me, he goes, I want to introduce you to a new sport. I said, okay. And he goes, you free tomorrow morning? I go, yeah. He goes, I want you to meet me at this golf course. And he shows up at the golf course with Steve Scott, who at the time was the American record holder in the mile.
Right.
He goes, John, we're going to play speed golf. And I said, what's that? He goes, we're going to start a clock when you hit your first shot. And your score is whatever you score in the golf course plus how many minutes it takes you to finish the course.
Fun. Wow. That sounds fun.
So you carry 3 clubs. You carry like a wood, a 7-iron, and a putter.
Right.
And you hit, and you pick up your clubs and sprint to your ball. And you hit and pick up your club. Steve Scott shot 80, really good score, and he did it in 40 minutes.
Wow.
For a 120.
Right.
I shot 95 and did it in 45 minutes.
Wow.
But it is such a good workout and so fun. And most golf courses won't let you do it. But if you can find anybody who will let you do it, it's a blast.
You know what kind of like, well, it's not a country club sport anymore because it's become like a big deal. We should have a pickleball tournament at this place.
I think that's a great idea.
Everybody's playing. It's great.
It's so much fun.
Idea.
So in.
It's so much fun.
That's what's in.
That's what's in.
You know what's in? The Philadelphia Phillies are in now. Real quick, just a couple of things real quick. You know who I'm super jealous of, who I'd love to do one of the I don't know if he still does it, but the AVP volleyball stuff that Geeter used to do.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So I love those events.
Chris Marlowe, who's a Nuggets announcer I'm going to see on Wednesday, still does a lot of that. Yeah, that's a good
real
one.
quick, I know you love this stuff, John. Peyton and Eli, you want to guess their guest? You want to know their guests today?
Yeah, who are they?
So I'm going to go in what I would say reverse order of fame. Okay. Bill Burr.
Very funny.
The comedian.
Love Bill Burr.
Vince Vaughn.
Okay. Lives my neighbor in Manhattan Beach.
Love Vince Vaughn.
And President Obama.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now that's a get.
Yeah.
He'll be great.
President Obama shouted out Momo at the Toronto Golden State Warriors
Should have
finals.
retired then. It was never going to get better than that moment.
He gave her a, hey, I like what you write, or something like
it
that.
was so-
Career highlight.
Yeah.
Was that your impression of Obama?
You know what it was? Let me see and I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Standing in the hallway in Toronto.
Yeah.
Me and Doris Burke. I was doing radio sidelines. She was doing TV sidelines. We were pretty much outside the Warriors locker room the entire series because everyone got hurt. And so we're standing out in front, and Obama walks by with Adam Silver. And he sees DB, and they know each other from whatever. I don't know.
He's just DB.
Rocketology, it's Doris Burke, whatever. So she's chatting him up, and I'm like, oh, my God. It's like Doris. How do you know him? And then he sees me, and we meet eyes.
Yeah.
Like we say, like a recognition.
Yeah.
Like I obviously know him. No concept that he knows me, and he goes, you do a great job.
Wow.
That's what it was.
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Did
That's
that
cool.
just happen? And
That's
then
cool.
Doris Burke, the greatest ever, Doris says, you got to tweet that. I go, there's no way I'm tweeting that. That is the biggest humble brag ever.
Hold on. You're not going to believe what Bergman just said to me.
I was talking to Lindsay. Did you guys already talk about it?
No, shut up. Repeat exactly what you just said to me in my ear.
I said, do you want the Manning cast lineup because it's pretty good?
It's literally what we're talking about.
Literally, Sedano teed
I was
it up,
talking to Lindsay.
Delivered it. We've been talking about it for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't listen to your crosstalk.
Do you work here?
No.
Super crosstalk.
Super crosstalk.
Right.
Mega super.
All right.
Doris Burke
right.
says to me, I'll tweet it for you.
So what happened?
So she tweeted it for me. She goes, and I was like, wait, I just got two goats tweeting at me. like Doris tweeted about me and Barack. I'm like, I got to just retire
Today, my
now.
FaceTime, I got robbed today on Around the Horn. We had Ramona knows this. Sometimes you have to do the last segment over because something went wrong.
Oh, that sucks.
And I had won against Tim Kalishaw, and then I lost. But I had already done my FaceTime, and it was to Drake because it's his birthday today, and I gave him I mentioned Doris Burke because he's got this affinity for Doris. So.
Yeah, that Dave's Hot Chicken, which is Drake's favorite chicken, brought a bunch of food in today in honor of Drake's birthday.
Oh, that's nice. They never
cool.
bring for the afternoon show.
No, I think there's still some free. No,
there might be.
No, I think they did bring free.
No, it's better that we're not. Better for us not to eat it.
Get in here with the food. Oh, by the way, who's the one person that you were surprised knew who you were? You ever have one of those? Like yours would be Obama, Momo.
Yeah.
I'm walking down the hallway once, and Stan Kroenke, the Rams owner, is coming the other way. And I didn't know what to say, so I just said, hi, Stan. He goes, hey, John, how's it going?
Oh, my.
And I went, whoa. I go, he probably had somebody behind him in his ear.
Mine is either going to be Allen Iverson or Ric Flair. But apparently Ric Flair is a big ESPN guy.
No,
Ric Flair is a big ESPN guy.
Michael is Ric Flair because Michael's a Minnesota guy. And Doug Mann arranged for Ric Flair to do third chair once. It was really good. All right,
mine is also Ric Flair, and he follows me on Twitter.
Yeah, he's like a big basketball ESPN guy. So it's not all that shock. But I get maybe it's AI. I have a good AI story that is actually not for air.
Okay, good. Sedano and Cap are coming up next. You can catch Momo tomorrow. See ya. Mason and Ireland, ESPNLA. Oh, wait a minute.
Look how generous you've been. It's 4:16. Very nice of you.
Coors Light, keeping Southern California chill all season long, is the sponsor of Super Crosstalk. What's your
pickleball tournament coming in the spring?
Beautiful.
Love
Sedano and Cap next.